Okay, so things are intense. A new scenario just dropped. Main scenario of 83, Green Zone, and it's a 7-day survival run. The goal? Find and held at a green zone while monsters come out at midnight, and the reward is a cool 1,000 coins. This dude is freaking out, and honestly, same. The time limit is only 8 hours, and failure means, well, we don't know yet, but it's bad. But wait, there's a twist. You can steal other people's green zones, which is just cold-blooded, honestly. Everyone's scrambling to find a safe spot, and the system is straight up telling them if they fail to secure a zone by midnight, they're doomed. People are already running, and the green zones are lighting up the floor. It's a total free for all. Our boy is pushing through the crowd, trying to get to a zone, but it's already taken and it's chaos. He's getting shoved around, and it's clear everyone is desperate to survive, and some are willing to do anything. This other guy is making a beeline for a green zone, but someone else is right behind him, ready to snatch it up. The tension is so high, and you can feel everyone's desperation. It's a race against the clock and each other. This dude is straight up admitting he just doesn't want to die, and then, SPL8, something explodes. No way. A guy gets covered in something, and it's looking real bad for him. The leader is unbothered, and calmly says they just need to find a room big enough for everyone. Someone questions if they'll all really have to fight like this, but it's already happening. People are pulling out weapons, and it's a total brawl. Thud, thud. This is insane. The leader's still cool as a cucumber, scanning for a room while chaos erupts around him. Another guy is getting slammed against a wall, and it's not looking good for him either. Everyone's losing it, and a Teal Yuchzuan 670 message is flashing. What even is that? The leader is splitting them into teams, but honestly, this feels like a bad idea. He's laying out the plan, but I have a feeling this is going to go sideways fast. They all agree to meet back up, nodding like they've got a plan, but honestly, it feels like a trap. Someone's got a bandaged arm and a weapon, and everyone looks seriously roughed up. This scenario is brutal. They start running, trying to escape something unseen, and the leader is bringing up the rear. The leader is on his phone, looking smug, while everyone else is clearly panicking. What's he up to? He's reading a message on his phone about no rooms being available in the area, and he's definitely enjoying this. This dude thinks they're safe, but the message says there's only one option left. Oh no, here we go. They're sprinting through the hallways, and the leader is still strangely calm. It's kinda creepy. The woman is freaking out, asking if they're really going to have to fight for their lives. But of course they are, because that's just how this story works. It's a total bloodbath. A timer pops up 30 minutes until the next scenario begins. No pressure, right? Okay, so the leader is straight up staring at a blank phone screen, and his little companion is losing it. The fluffy thing is yelling at him, wondering what he's even doing. Bro, seriously, focus! He's thinking it's better if Byong in the constellations don't know he's a reader of this web novel. Sneaky. But the fluffy thing is still going off, saying he's boring the constellations to death, which, fair enough. This dude is sitting with his leg propped up, looking totally relaxed while a sword is chilling nearby. What is happening? The companion is asking if he's brainstorming, but he's just staring at the screen. It's so frustrating. The fluffy thing is now threatening him, asking what he ever saw on him. Ouch, harsh words. He's getting a tear in his eye and looks completely defeated, like this whole scenario is crushing him. They zoom in on his face, and he's straight up saying, a blank screen. Is he messing with everyone? He asks if they mean this blank screen, like he's genuinely confused. This dude is playing a long game. He finds an attachment, 100 ways to survive the apocalypse. No way, this dude is getting a survival guide? He opens it and immediately screams. Apparently the guide is intense, like seriously intense. The screen cracks and shatters, and green light starts flooding the room. What is even happening right now? It's a green zone, and everything is glowing. This is straight up a level from the web novel. Some poor guy is getting absolutely wrecked, and the green light is painting the scene in blood. Our boy is standing over him, totally unfazed, and tells him not to come any closer. Cold. He's telling the injured man he doesn't even want to live anymore. Harsh, but effective intimidation. He casually leans against a wall while the guy tries to reach for him. This dude is playing with his food, but the man manages to grab his leg, and our boy just casually pulls away, leaving him there. Seriously, he's just standing there, looking down at the mess. This guy is a monster. He's laying down the law. No one dares approach his room, because they know what happens if they do. Suddenly, a guy tries to sneak up on him, but our boy is way too fast and deflects 2 swords with his own. He's casually threatening this guy, saying he doesn't want him to die, but he was impressed he stood up to Master. The guy is shocked. Is this dude really as strong as the Master? Seriously, the audacity! He tells the guy to go back to his room, but honestly, he's just toying with everyone right now. The other guy responds with, "Oh, Master?" Total subservience, it's kinda creepy. He's walking away, leaving a trail of blood, and the other guy is just following him. Loyal to a fault. He turns around and straight up threatens to kill this guy and his friends. Talk about a power move. But then he shrugs and says, "We'll have to see about that," which is way more terrifying than just saying yes. He's looking down at someone off panel, and this dude is radiating pure menace. We're in trouble. Okay, so the group explains they couldn't find a room, and our boy is not happy about the cost. He's straight up threatening to split some heads open over 2,000 coins a night. This dude is ruthless. He asks Dokja if he found anything, but Dokja says no, and honestly, he looks kinda defeated. But then our boy lays out the options: they either lie or they don't. Super ominous. He flashes a peace sign, but it feels less friendly and more like a warning. No way. The group looks up at him, clearly worried about what's coming next. The tension is real. He says the first option, just surviving, is the easier one. But there's a catch. Apparently, when people choose to live, they usually end up paying a price. Oh boy. He's clearly got a plan, and the others are just bracing for whatever happens next. It's intense. Seriously, this dude is playing 4D chess while everyone else is playing checkers. Okay, so things are bad? This episode is gonna be rough, warning everyone about some serious violence. Our boy and the team are getting a plan together, but it's kinda insane. They're running towards the monsters. They're not heading for safety at the station. No way. They're charging straight into the danger zone, and honestly, it's a wild move. The ground starts cracking and breaking apart, like the monsters are literally bursting from below. It's super creepy. Then the monsters arrive, and it's all roars and shrieks and chaos, a total nightmare unfolding before them. Everyone scatters, trying to escape the monsters' initial attack, and the whole place is going to pieces. They're running for their lives, dodging debris and trying to find some kind of cover, but it's a total free for all. The monsters are closing in fast, and the area is being completely destroyed. It's a straight-up disaster zone. One of the team members yells about a wall to the left, hoping for a safe spot, but things are moving too quickly. Another team member looks absolutely terrified, and you can tell they're all realizing just how desperate this situation is. Someone's activated a secret area at Chunmoro Station, and it's a total emergency. This massive beast breaks through a glowing green wall, and it's heading straight for a teammate. Our boy dives in front of the attack, trying to shield her, but it's a risky move, honestly. The secret area is called Refuge of the Brave, ironic, considering the monster's size. He's sliding across the floor, desperately trying to get clear, and it's a super close call. The teammate he saved is freaking out, but our boy shouts at her to get lost. He's all business. Another teammate is getting launched through the air, a monster's claw sending him flying. He's sliding to avoid the debris, narrowly missing getting crushed. Seriously, this is intense. The green barrier flickers, and it looks like more of these secret areas are activating around them. This dude is straight up dodging a monster attack, using the environment to his advantage. Okay, so the monsters got one of their own, and it's getting brutal fast. Our boy is trying to drag another teammate to safety, but they're dodging debris like crazy. He's shielding someone, but another guy is getting tossed around like a ragdoll. No way. The monster roars and a teammate SCREMs. It's a total disaster zone in there. This dude tries to protect another, but a claw spy in GS and SP late. That's rough, man. More debris is flying, and it's a chaotic mess of destruction and monster attacks. He's dodging and weaving, barely avoiding getting ripped to shreds. Seriously, the reflexes on this guy? Another teammate gets hit, and the monster's just tearing through everything. It's insane. More claws, more shrieks, more you get the idea, it's a bloodbath. But our boy, he's already analyzing the situation, spotting hidden zones for a plan. He's a genius. He's revealing his plan. He just wants to steal a room. But seriously, that's the reason for all this. Oh no, it's going down. A teammate is being absolutely destroyed, and the scene is covered in red. Another monster appears, and they're asking if they should unleash the penalty. Great timing, guys. Snap. A monster gets wrecked by our boy's bat, but then transforms into something hairy and angry. The penalty is applied, and it's a huge furry beast. This is getting out of hand, fast. He's trying to stay calm, but the green barrier is glitching, and he's clearly freaking out. The monster roars, and everything goes red. It's a full-on assault, and it's brutal. Sijampi! Another teammate is getting eaten, and it's just awful. Our boy swings, trying to defend everyone, but the monsters are relentless, and things are looking grim. He sighs, surviving another onslaught. But it's clear this day is going to be a long one for Jungyo. Dokja's trying to explain he's been leveling up stats the whole time, but no one is listening, seriously. He tells them to get out of the way, then just starts slicing through monsters with insane speed. No way. He's deflecting attacks, dodging claws, and generally being a whirlwind of destruction, but he looks exhausted. This dude is getting wrecked, and Dokja's like, I have no idea what's happening, but he's still fighting. To be honest, he admits he doesn't even know why he's so strong, but the monster doesn't care. It just roars. Everyone's panicking, wondering if Dokja and Jillian are okay. It's a total mess of monsters and chaos. Dokja's clenching his fist, bracing himself for another attack. This is getting intense. He unleashes a flurry of blue slashes, cutting down monsters left and right. It's a total light show! Another monster goes down, and another, but it feels endless, straight up overwhelming. He keeps swinging, fueled by something, and honestly, this dude is a machine. Dokja's remembering a novel where the protagonist made this exact move. It ended horribly. He lifts Jillian, shielding him, but the monsters are closing in fast. It's a desperate play. Jillian's freaking out, understandably, seeing those monster claws getting closer and closer. Suddenly, a blue light engulfs them both, and Dokja shouts, "Hold on tight!" What's happening? They're pulled into some kind of digital space, and a list of bookmarked characters appears. Whoa. Namwon, Hyein Song, and Inho are all on the list with their understanding levels. This is getting meta. Dokja bursts through a barrier of energy, dashing forward with Jillian still in his arms. No hesitation. He's slicing through monsters again, protecting Jillian, but it's a brutal, chaotic fight. The monsters are swarming, claws reaching, but Dokja's holding on, determined to get them both out. Jillian clutches onto him, terrified as they battle for their lives. This is intense, bro. Dokja suddenly remembers a crucial detail. This space reacts to understanding, and Jillian has tons of it. But it's not just about having it, it's about using it. Things are going wieldy in Chungmoro. This dude Dokja is straight up getting attacked, and it's brutal. The scene is chaotic with roars echoing. It's a total bloodbath, honestly. Dokja's getting tossed around, and another guy is desperately trying to help, but it looks grim. Someone's eyes widen as they realize what's happening, but it's probably too late to do anything. This monster is huge, and Dokja is facing it down with a sword, but it's clearly a massive power imbalance. The monster attacks and someone is getting absolutely wrecked. No way this is going to end well. They're realizing it's something from before the attack, but it's a crucial piece of information. But hold up, apparently even if they had it, they wouldn't be able to use it, which is super frustrating. Suddenly, everything goes white with a massive charm, and a ton of monster limbs are flying everywhere. Dokja's getting absolutely demolished, but then a blue light engulfs everything. It's intense. Suddenly, a system message pops up. Illusory prison has been activated. What is going on? Another message: you have become a ghost species. No way, Dokja is turning into a ghost. Everything fades to black, and then words start appearing, spelling out Omniscient. Super creepy. Dokja is calling out to someone. It's a desperate plea for help, and it's heartbreaking. But wait, he manages to grab someone's arm, pulling them into the ghostly realm with him. He realizes the increased immersion somehow weakened the fourth wall. No way is this good. Dokja sees someone nearby, and it's straight up Hyunsung, the guy who betrayed him. Seriously. He reaches out, grabbing Hyunsung's hand, and pulls him into the ghostly realm with him. Talk about a power move. They're both surrounded by this eerie, glowing blue light. It's like they're trapped in a weird dreamscape. Dokja's memories are flooding back, and he's reliving painful moments. This is brutal, bro. He's desperately trying to make sense of everything, to understand how he ended up here, but it's all a blur. Dokja realizes Hyunsung is also reliving his own memories, and it's clear he's just as confused and scared. However, Hyunsung's memories aren't filled with regret. This dude is still convinced he did the right thing. Dokja's getting angrier, and honestly, this dude had it coming. Prepare for a showdown. Dokja's reliving a memory, and it's seriously messed up. A traumatic event from his past is resurfacing. He's fighting it, trying to resist the flood of pain, but it's overwhelming him. This is brutal to watch. Hyunsung still stuck in his own twisted version of events, refusing to acknowledge his mistakes. Seriously, this guy. Dokja's had enough and straight up explodes with anger, unleashing all his pent-up frustration on Hyunsung. But then a realization hits him. He remembers the Spectre Spirit Stone he picked up on the way to Chungmuro Station. He's connecting the dots, figuring out how this stone is tied to his current ghostly state. Our boy is actually thinking. Dokja is struggling, exhausted from reliving the memory and desperately trying to regain control. Hyunsung is totally lost, confused by Dokja's sudden shift and the intensity of his reaction. He has no clue. Dokja declares some memories are better left forgotten. He's shutting down, trying to block out the pain. He's focused on the Spectre Spirit Stone, determined to understand its power and how it brought him here. This could be key. Dokja's babbling about the fourth wall, claiming it's way overpowered and he survived thanks to a skill. What is going on? He thinks anyone else would have gone insane trying this, but he's waiting for the effects of the fourth wall to wear off. A screen appears showing stats, and is that a woman falling? Dokja's looking at it intensely. Something's up. Suddenly, a woman shouts, "Are you Yoon-Yuk-Yu?" And Dokja whips around, holding the weird stone. The woman rushes at him, and everyone is shocked. No way is she attacking him right now. She grabs him, and Dokja's confused, but then she stares right into his eyes. This is getting intense. She's scrutinizing his face, then blurts out, "You look Korean." What a weird thing to say. Her eyes are glowing red, and she's practically radiating power. This is seriously intimidating. She demands, "Who are you?" And honestly, Dokja looks just as lost as we are. This woman is straight up terrifying, and Dokja has no idea what's happening. Talk about a cliffhanger. Dokja is reeling, totally caught off guard. The woman is analyzing him with some kind of skill. Her skill levels are insane, straight up legendary, and the system is overloaded trying to process her profile. The system spitting out a summary revealing this is Anna Croft, a prophet and savior, no less. She has skills for days, future vision, insight, even lie detection. This woman knows everything. Dokja's thinking, just as I thought, realizing Anna Croft is exactly who he expected. But here's the twist. Dokja declares he's also a prophet, surprising Anna and everyone around them. Anna identifies herself as a character who can see the future, aiming to rebuild it, ambitious much. She's the prophet Anna Croft, and she's laying it all out there, staring directly at our boy Dokja. Anna's laying down the law, letting everyone know this is her domain, and Dokja's just standing there. Dokja calmly states he's also a prophet, but Anna's reaction is priceless. She's genuinely shocked. Dokja realizes someone noticed him. The fourth wall skill he's been relying on is weakening. Anna Croft demands to know who Dokja is, and bro, she's not messing around with this question. Dokja asks if she remembers receiving something from him, and Anna looks utterly confused. "Sorry," she asks. He clarifies he won't trade anything for broken faith, but Anna's face contorts in shock. What did he just say? Anna's eyes widen, and it's clear she's recalling something. She's starting to put the pieces together. The fourth wall skill is returning, and Dokja's foot starts glitching out. No way, it's happening again. Dokja's presence is becoming known, and Anna is realizing just who he is. This is getting intense. Okay, so Dokja finally wakes up, sprawled out in what looks like a disaster zone. Blood everywhere, no less. This weird little demon fluffball is yelling at him to wake up. Like seriously, the urgency is real. Dokja's clearly disoriented, blinking and trying to process what's going on, but he's definitely coming to. Yu Young-Yuk announces Dokja is finally up. She seems relieved, but also kinda stressed. We get a glimpse of other survivors looking pretty rough, while Young-Yuk keeps a close watch on Dokja. This is where it gets weird. Young-Yuk makes a suggestive comment about Dokja's thigh. What is happening? Young-Yuk starts mumbling about today's roll call, sounding super intense and mysterious. Something's definitely up. Dokja gives this creepy little smile, and honestly, it's unsettling. He knows something we don't. The demon fluffball is back, tossing something at Dokja now that he's awake. A lifeline, maybe. Everyone's still recovering, some injured, but Dokja is clearly in control, and things are about to get intense. Dokja's got this intense look, realizing someone's been snooping around in his past. Major red flag. He's hit a huge achievement, becoming the second player in Chungmuro to get Endless Dawn. This dude is racking up points. Okay, things get dark. Dokja's chilling in a room full of injured people and he casually mentions he's saved enough coins. Yu Young-hyuk straight up asks what they're doing tonight and Dokja's reply to repeat yesterday, which involves like a lot of violence. Dokja shuts that down immediately, saying yesterday was a one-time thing, thank goodness, honestly. Turns out TWSA didn't know where the green zones would spawn, and that's a problem for their survival. Dokja announces they are ending the third scenario today, while another character collapses, mumbling incoherently. It's intense. We get a quick update on the green zones. They've got 56 out of 70, so they're getting close. Dokja's got a plan, and it involves hunting down the landlord. This is about to get messy, bro. The landlord is just chilling, reading a newspaper, completely oblivious, but Dokja and crew are closing in. Okay, so someone's been talking in their sleep, and it's not just any rambling, it's Private Hyun-seong Lee. What is happening? Apparently, this dude has been muttering about being a private, and it's freaking everyone out. Trauma from the military, they guess. Yu Young-hyuk's acting all smug, saying the military suited him. Seriously, that's a terrible thing to say right now. Dokja's listening to this, looking totally unamused, and honestly, he's right to be. He shuts down the military talk fast, saying it was a one-time thing, but everyone's still weirded out. This conversation takes a strange turn. They're talking about green zones, but Dokja's clearly distracted by something else. Dokja's relieved there on his side, saying he feels protected, which is a little creepy, considering everything. Wait, Dokja's expression shifts. He's seeing something we can't, and it's got him seriously suspicious. They're all standing around trying to figure things out, and the tension is so thick you could cut it with a knife. Dokja's staring intently, totally focused, and something tells me he's about to uncover a major plot twist, bro. Dokja's telling everyone to pay attention, saying Hyun-seong should have awakened an attribute. It's a big deal. He wants them to copy what he did, whatever that was, and honestly, it's super cryptic. Someone asks what this is all for, and Dokja drops the bomb. They're doing this to help Hyun-seong. Flashback time, Dokja remembers Hyun-seong defending everyone at the station, but Hyo-won should have awakened instead. But it's Hyo-won who's changing, and a notification pops up saying his attribute is about to bloom. We get a quick action shot of Hyo-won swinging a weapon. This dude is about to get serious. Dokja realizes Young-hyuk is up to something, and he also needs to keep an eye on Pildu-gong. Young-hyuk's trying out some weird training method like a whale trainer. It's kinda creepy, TBH. Dokja's asking if this is like that whale approach, and the response, I guess, seriously. Dokja's got a plan and is ready to rule, but something tells me this is gonna be a wild ride, bro. Hyo-won's flexing, straight up showing off his new power, and Dokja's all like, how suspicious. He knows something's off. Dokja is demanding to know who Gunjae is, and this one-eyed dude insists it's just a skill. Yeah, right. Hyun-seong's trying to tell them to take turns cheering him on. It's a weird request, honestly. Dokja throws out a compliment, saying Hyun-seong is unchanging like a large pine tree. It's a choice. Hyo-won thanks him, then drops a bomb. His favorite military song was Green Pine Tree. No way. A notification pops up. Hyun-seong feels content, but Dokja never asked for his feelings. Hyun-seong's getting sulky, and Hyo-won's looking stressed. This is a disaster waiting to happen. Dokja is laying it on thick, praising Hyun-seong again, and Hyo-won is clearly annoyed. We get a final notification. Dokja's intermission scenario, well done. What does that even mean? Hyo-won is looking at Dokja, and for some reason Dokja is holding a shield. This is getting out of hand. Sang-gu, the second challenger, is seriously impressed by Dokja's dedication to justice. It's kinda sweet. Dokja drops a bomb. He's just a guy who read a novel, but the others are totally confused. Hyo-won and Sang-gu are strategizing, and they think Dokja is surprisingly easy to manipulate. Talk about underestimating our buy. Hyo-won's complimenting Dokja's muscles, and Dokja is just going with it. Honestly, it's hilarious. They're all agreeing Dokja is super simple, and they've got everything going according to plan. But something feels off, right? Hyo-won gives the signal, and they're sending someone to take care of Dokja, straight up by trail. Dokja's brooding, waiting for something to happen. He knows this is where things get real. We get a close-up of Dokja's back, and it looks like he's bracing for a hit. This is intense. A notification pops up. Hyunseong Lee is awaiting the chance for his attribute to blossom. What does that even mean? Dokja is taking a beating, but he's also grinning. This dude is loving it, and I think we all are. Okay, so Dokja is getting attacked by roaches like swarms of them while brooding. No way. Huiwon tells everyone she's on the first floor and a kid thanks them, but something feels seriously wrong. Dokja casually says he'll be right back, then reveals he's packing heat. Knives are sticking out of his back. He's holding a severed red hair ribbon, and it's unsettling to say the least. Dokja announces they're going talent scouting, and his eyes are ice cold. This dude is a predator. He's walking down the stairs, knives still visible, and honestly, it's a power move. We get a shot of his legs descending the stairs. It's creepy and purposeful, bro. Someone calls Dokja a squatter, and he's standing in front of Chungnuro 423. This is a setup. Dokja is looking down on someone, and the air is thick with tension. However, it's not who we expect. Huiwon's laughing and straight up calls Dokja the squatter. This is about to explode. Okay, so things are tense. Our boy is making a move before the landlord coalition catches on to their plan. He orders Huiwon and Sangha to take Gilliam to platform number 4, and honestly, it feels like a trap. But before they can even move, someone shouts, "Go away." It's total chaos and someone's clearly freaking out. This dude is getting attacked straight up. He's desperately trying to hold whatever's grabbing him back, but it's no use. He manages to gasp out, "I'm," before things get even worse, and his attacker is revealed to be a monster. The monster apologizes, "Yeah, you heard that right," and says really sorry while looming over him. Then bam, something crashes down and we're suddenly looking at a total disaster. Everything is broken. We see someone dashing up the stairs, moving fast, trying to escape whatever just happened. Our boy is on the run and the word dash appears, making it clear this is far from over. So this dude, Yoongyuk's friend, is questioning the plan, not feeling so sure about it, which is fair. But our boy assures him it'll be all right, saying he can rely on him, and they start sprinting up the stairs. However, Yoongyuk straight up reveals no one's ever relied on him, not even during his army days. Ouch. He's trying to brush it off, saying he just wants to hear more about his friend when this is all over. Things get intense. Yoongyuk grabs his friend's hand, and it's a little too much. Yoongyuk is acting weird, claiming he's known him for a long time. It's giving major red flags. And then the system notifications hit. Hyunseong is opening up and his understanding is increasing, which is something. He tries to backtrack, saying he didn't mean it like that, and is about to explain himself, but gets cut off. He stammers, saying he can't explain it, but calls out, "Hey, Yoongyuk's friend, what is happening?" No way, this dude's expression is so unhinged, and we're left wondering what he's not saying. Okay, so these goons corner them, asking where the rest of the team is. Super ominous vibes right now. A woman is desperately pleading for help, clearly caught in the middle of this mess, and it's heartbreaking. But then a mysterious figure steps in, telling everyone not to worry about her sketchy much. He casually drops that she just refused to sell her room, like that justifies everything, and honestly, that's messed up. We get a close-up of this new guy and his expression is icy. This dude is not playing around. He orders them to let her go, but the goons are questioning who he even is and what authority he has. The goons are all, "Who the hell are you to give orders?" And things are about to explode, I can feel it. But then out of nowhere, the mysterious figure just grabs the woman and it's seriously creepy and sudden. The goons are confused and the woman is still terrified. This whole situation is spiraling out of control. Our boy is staring intensely and you can tell he's calculating everything, trying to figure out this new player's game. Hyunseon's attribute is about to blossom, whatever that means, and our boy is straight up preparing for a stat boost. He's spending coins on stamina and strength, prioritizing growth because he needs those coins for something else later. Okay, so he's cornered the goons and it looks like he's about to unleash a flurry of attacks. This is gonna be good. First goon goes flying with a crash and honestly, this dude had it coming, instant knockout. Another crash as our boy takes down another goon. These guys are falling like dominoes, it's amazing. The final goon is stunned and for a second it looks like he might escape, but no chance. Our boy delivers a final decisive blow and the goon is down for the count. Clean sweep, bro. He taps his foot totally unfazed while the woman is still reeling from everything. This guy is ice cold. The mysterious figure is watching intently, and you can tell he's analyzing our boy. What's his angle? The woman is still shaken up, but she's getting to her feet, and our boy is just there, observing everything. No way someone just splattered a dude with blood, and our boy is right in the middle of it. He shouts at Hyunseon to go, but the guy's clearly out of it, totally shell-shocked. Hyunseon whips out a sword, and it's a blur of steel as she starts cutting down the attackers. Someone yells for Pildu, but it's chaos. Everyone is scrambling, and it's hard to tell what's going on. This older guy is just chilling, reading a newspaper amidst the madness. What is his deal? Hyunseon is dashing through the goons, a green energy trail behind her. It's intense. Someone yells to stop them, but Hyunseon is a whirlwind of blades. She's not slowing down. She's blocking attacks with her shield, and this dude is straight up fearless. She's a monster. A punch lands and thud, another goon goes down hard. The impact is brutal, bro. Our boy's calculating everything, and you can tell this is just the beginning. Things are about to get wild. Okay, so Hyunseon is absolutely demolishing everyone, slicing and dicing with insane speed. It's a bloodbath. But wait, the attackers are getting reinforcements, and they're activating some kind of security system, a militarized zone. A message pops up: you have trespassed on private property. This place is seriously locked down, bro. The zone activates, and it's this crazy red grid expanding everywhere, like a laser maze from hell. Our boy's stigma, that military zone ability, is going off level 4, which means things are about to get real. The red grid intensifies, and it's pulsing with energy. It's like a fortress is being built around them. Hyunseon is still fighting, but the zone is messing with her movements. It's slowing her down. She's dodging lasers and swinging her sword, but the attacks are relentless, and she takes a hit. Our boy jumps into action using his own powers to counter the zone, and honestly, it's a gorgeous display. He sends a shockwave through the zone, and it's enough to blast the remaining attackers back. What a save. Hyunseon launches forward, sword blazing. She's aiming to cut through the zone, straight up risking it all. But the zone retaliates, sending a massive wave of energy back at her. It's a direct hit. No way, she's sent flying backwards, crashing through multiple layers of the security system. It's brutal. However, our boy isn't letting her fall. He's already rushing to catch her. He's a total lifesaver. Ugh, things are bad. Dokja is straight up wrecked amidst the rubble, clearly having taken a beating. Someone in a hooded coat appears, stepping over debris. They look totally unbothered by the chaos. This dude in the hood just steps right onto someone's hand, no hesitation, and it's brutal. The hooded figure surveys the scene, looking down at everyone with this cold, calculating gaze. Another guy shows up, sword in hand, looking shocked at the destruction around him. Dokja calls out for someone named Dokja. Wait, is he calling for himself? The hooded figure asks if they destroyed all the green zones, sounding super serious. He explains they took care of the smaller zones, but the ones belonging to Pildungong are still intact. We get a glimpse of the aftermath, more rubble, more destruction. It's a total mess. And honestly, the hooded guy seems pleased with the chaos. This is getting intense. Okay, so the woman with the sword asks if they destroyed everything, and our boy confirms, no sweat. He explains they got help from Jai Hai Lee to take out the smaller zones, but Pildungong's zones are still up. Apparently, Pildungong's zones are too big for them to handle alone, and they needed extra muscle. Someone points out that the audience for this whole thing are thrill seekers. That's unsettling, to say the least. Wait, there's more. A notification pops up, reminding everyone there are other channels running in Chungyuro. This dude is freaking out. He realizes what's happening, and it's bad, like really bad. He's saying Dokja messed up big time, and now there's a whole lot of chaos brewing. Everyone is straight up furious, and honestly, they have a right to be. They all thought Jai Hai Lee was just his disciple, but she's actually the incarnation of a sacred hero. No way. But now what? Everyone is fuming mad, and the situation is spiraling out of control. Pildungong is down, but someone's rushing to help him. It's chaos, bro. Everyone's a mess. Suddenly, a bounty hunter scenario pops up, and it's targeting Dokja Kim. Talk about bad timing. Reward is 2,000 coins, and there's no penalty for failing. That feels off, right? The group sizes up Dokja, and honestly, they look ready to tear him apart, no hesitation. One of them asks if they'll get the coins if they kill him now, and Dokja's response is cold. Dokja straight up says he doesn't need their help and his confidence is a little scary, TBH. He's activating something, a blue screen appears and it's like he's rejecting the bounty. Dokja declares he won't consider it if it was this time, but something's clearly brewing. The team is completely focused on Dokja, but this dude is about to be a bigger problem. However, it looks like Dokja knows exactly what's up and he's not backing down from the fight. Hyunseong Lee is stepping in and his character summary is wild, the man who regained a sense of justice. Young Hyokyu, a total madman from repeated regressions, has wrecked all the safe zones in Chungmuro, apparently. Dokja's trying to calm down Yujin, but things are about to get real messy, you can feel it. He's not worried about the bounty hunters, he's focused on the bigger threat, and honestly, good for him. Suddenly, everything glitches and the system announces the scenario difficulty is increasing. Uh-oh. But wait, the scenario is actually renewed. What does that even mean? This is getting complicated. The system's going crazy with notifications and Dokja's standing firm. This dude is a stone wall. It looks like the system is recognizing the change in Dokja, and it's definitely not a glitch anymore. The other characters are getting blue highlights like they're being scanned. It's super eerie. Hyunseong Lee is radiating power, and it's clear he's the key to all this. Prepare for impact. The system announces a monster hunt. Survive 8 hours against a relentless onslaught for 1,000 coins or die. No way, a horde of monstrous figures explodes onto the scene, and it's immediately chaos. These aren't regular monsters, they're twisted, shadowy versions of wolves, straight-up nightmare fuel. Hyunseong Lee is moving faster than the eye can see, tearing through the monsters like they're nothing. Someone screams what as a monster lunges, but Hyunseong is already there, intercepting the attack. The monsters keep coming and it's a brutal, messy fight, blood splatters everywhere. A man gets knocked down and Hyunseong's foot is about to come down on him. This is intense. Another guy yells for help, but he's surrounded and the monsters are closing in fast. Hyunseong is a whirlwind of destruction, but even he looks strained. This is a serious fight. Our boy Dokja's watching it all, and it's clear he's calculating something. He's not just a bystander. Hyunseong Lee is absolutely demolishing everything, but these monsters just keep flooding in. It's relentless. He's moving so fast, cracks are spiderwebbing across the floor with every step. This dude is a powerhouse. One guy tries to warn him, but Hyunseong just threatens to crush him if he doesn't move. No time for niceties. Hyunseong unleashes another blast of energy and the floor explodes. Seriously, the destruction is insane. A monster lunges and Hyunseong intercepts with a sword, but it's not a clean hit. He's taking damage. The impact sends a shockwave, shattering the already weakened floor. It's crumbling around them. Another monster attacks and Hyunseong's sword cuts through him, but another guy is right behind. He's surrounded. Hyunseong yells at them, warning they won't survive if they try to get closer. Cold, but true. Guy screams as a blast of energy throws him back, and the floor gives way beneath him. Total chaos. Another man falls and the whole staircase is collapsing. They're trapped and running out of space. Hyunseong demands they fight, and honestly, this dude is all kinds of intense. The other guys try to argue, saying he's the one who wrecked everything. Talk about blaming the victim. Suddenly, a golden energy bursts from Dokja like a wild, untamed beast. No way. It's a constellation skill and it's powering up fast, surrounding him with pure energy. The staircase is crumbling around them, but Dokja is bracing himself, ready to take the hit. He throws a punch and the whole floor shatters, sending debris flying everywhere. Massive. The other guys are screaming as they plummet into the abyss. It's brutal, but Dokja is focused. Dokja wonders if the other staircases suffered the same fate. He's thinking several steps ahead, as usual. He's clenched his fist so tight, veins are bulging. Our boy is ready to rumble, and it's awesome. Okay, so this rich guy, Jeong Yeon, is absolutely losing it because Pildon Gong is getting stronger. He's running around like a maniac, yelling about how this can't be happening, but seriously, he should have seen this coming. Pildon Gong's skills are leveling up like crazy. Private property and militarized zone are getting a serious boost. And then BAM, massive explosions start ripping through the building and Pildon Gong gets a new skill. Barrier, no way. The whole place is falling apart, but our boy Pildon Gong is just casually gaining skills from the destruction. It's insane. Jeong Yeon is freaking out even more, screaming at everyone to die. Honestly, this dude had it coming. He's desperately trying to figure out how long he can keep funding this situation, but it's clearly spiraling out of control. But here's the kicker, Jian Yon is wondering how long he can support Pildong, while Pildong is just getting more and more powerful. Pildong is straight up destroying everything, and he's probably loving every second of it. Jian Yong is still ranting, but it's clear he's outmatched. Pildong is on another level now. Okay, so everyone's wondering where Yumyokyu is, but she's straight up sleeping through all this chaos. Jiang Yong is losing it, demanding to know where she is, but someone points out she's been asleep since 9 a.m. And honestly, she's out cold while the whole place is falling apart. It's kinda impressive. But here's where it gets wild. Someone realizes Pildong has been inside the dungeon for 11 hours already. Someone asks how they even know that, and it turns out she's been watching his stream this whole time. She's seeing his subscriber count skyrocketing, and Biome is begging her to open the shop. Biome needs to tell his viewers he's taking a break for a channel expansion. Apparently, #BI 7623 is getting huge. But Biome is refusing, saying he's not losing all his subscribers. Seriously, this dude is obsessed. However, he's getting pressured to open the shop, and the little spirit is looking menacing. And then, out of nowhere, someone is staring intently, realizing something huge is about to go down. Okay, so Dokja's being offered a support contract, but he's straight up refusing, says he won't sign with a supporting constellation. He's getting offered a medium mana recovery potion for 5,000 coins, which is a decent deal, honestly. But things take a turn, the contract is changing, and Dokja is suddenly the employee, not the employer. Someone's trying to read the contract, but they can't make out the words, which is super sus. This is wild. The other guy is literally dragging Pildong away, trying to force him into this deal. We get a close-up of Pildong's back, and it's intense, with someone grabbing him tightly. Suddenly, a main scenario pops up. Emergency defense, clear all the green zones, and monsters spawn. No way, it's a B difficulty scenario, and the clear condition is to destroy everything. Pildong is still being dragged, and someone is gasping for air, struggling to keep up. However, the situation is escalating fast. Pildong is now being forced into becoming an employee. It's been an hour and a half, and Pildong is still fighting, getting absolutely wrecked by those monster dogs. But here's the thing, his supporting constellations are weak, and people are starting to lose interest in watching him. Someone manages to grab some supplies, but honestly, it feels like too little, too late for our buy. Pildong is desperate, trying to get help from other constellations, and Dokja's smirking. He knows something's up. No way, the prisoner of the Golden Headband constellation is straight up scoffing at the request, which is a terrible sign. Someone is being dragged through the chaos, and it's intense. They're getting absolutely pulverized by the monsters. Pildong is falling, tumbling through the air, and it looks like he's about to be completely overwhelmed. However, someone catches him, but it's a desperate grab, and they both look like they're going down. And just when you think it's over, someone yells, "Hey, over there," as everything starts collapsing around them. This dude is falling fast, and it's a total disaster. The scenario is clearly pushing Pildong to his absolute limit. Pildong is trying to sponsor a constellation, straight up offering money, but it's not going well. Someone yells at him, asking if he's lost his mind. Apparently, constellations don't need sponsors. This dude is offering a ton of potions if someone signs a contract, but it's clear Pildong is desperate. The supporting constellation defense master is completely shocked by this offer, which is kind of funny. Someone shouts that he's a constellation and questions why he'd deal with a human, but Pildong has a plan. He reveals he's broke, no coins left. That's why he's trying to sponsor someone. It's a power move. No way, the monsters are attacking again, and everything's going crazy around them. Pildong is basically saying, "What are you on about?" as chaos erupts. He tells the little fluffy guy, Pildu, to pipe down because he wasn't talking to him, so shady. Someone asks if he's insane for offering to sponsor a constellation, and Pildong just fires back, "And why can't I?" Okay, so it turns out constellations need stories to earn coins. It's how they get power. If a constellation doesn't spread its story through an incarnation, it gets forgotten and just vanishes. Harsh. Defense Master isn't like those other constellations, though. He actually cares about his incarnations, apparently. Someone thinks Pildu might die, and our boy is just like, yeah, he might if we don't help. Cold. He asks what they'll do, straight up putting the pressure on everyone else to save Pildu. Defense Master is coughing up a storm, but still manages to yell for Pildu. Talk about dedication. Hildong Gong is risking everything to keep his incarnation alive, and honestly, it's kinda impressive. Someone shouts for the Defense Master, but he's clearly in rough shape. This is bad, really bad. The scene is intense. Hildong Gong is pushing everyone to decide what they're gonna do, and the stakes are huge. Everyone is shocked that the Defense Master is asking for time to consider the contract. No way. The Defense Master is suddenly adding new clauses to the contract, and everyone is losing it. He's smirking, and it's clear this dude is about to pull something major. Contract appears, and everyone is freaking out. What the heck is going on? The Defense Master lays down the law. He'll sign if they agree to the new terms. Simple as that. The first new clause, the employer must respect Pildu's rights and guarantee his life. Wow. Next up, the employer has to assist Pildu's betterment. This is getting intense. It's stated that Dokja is the employer and Pildu is the employee. Talk about a power dynamic. Dokja says he was already planning on helping Pildu, but this contract is next level. But honestly, this is a genius move. Hildong Gong is playing 4D chess with these constellations. The contract details are laid out. The employer and employee share authority over Hildong Gong, but the employer can't touch the employee's other stuff. Next, the employer gets authority over Hildong Gong, effective immediately, but with a limit of 10 orders a day. That's a serious restriction. Dokja straight up says, I'll do it, accepting all the terms. Our boy doesn't hesitate. He's sealing the deal. Okay, so they stumble upon a hidden door in the cinema. It's like a secret dungeon just appears. A notification pops up, hidden dungeon discovered, and the reward, 4,000 coins, which is huge. Our boy pushes open the door and BAM, everyone gets sucked into this new scenario, no warning at all. Suddenly, a hand reaches out, attempting to grab someone. It's super fast and aggressive. The attack connects, sending sparks flying, and honestly, this dude had it coming. He was too slow. More attacks land, and the floor starts cracking under their feet. It's a chaotic scene, bro. The word spark flashes across the screen with each hit, making it even more intense. They finally manage to dodge some attacks, but the master of the dungeon is clearly powerful. The system reveals the details. An A-rank difficulty dungeon with no time limit. Sounds manageable, right? They are already inside, and the situation is getting real. Our boy has to defeat the master to get those coins. Okay, so the dungeon master reveals he's been watching them. Creepy, right? He's got a whole crew with him too. One of the master's guys tries to attack, but one of their teammates intercepts with a sword. It's a quick clash. Someone questions why our boy is trying to save another teammate, and honestly, it's a valid question. He straight up says it's because they're companions, but then adds cut the crap and reveals he just needs him. Cold. Another teammate calls him out on it, but our boy's got a response. He's useful, period. No way. Suddenly, a notification pops up. A constellation is impressed with his attempt to help. What? Uriel gives him 100 coins as a reward. Okay, that's a nice little bonus, we'll take it. But our boy isn't buying it. He remembers something Yoongyok Yu said about reaching double-digit regressions. He's realizing something big is up, like this isn't just a random dungeon. It's connected to the bigger story. And he's thinking about the regression count, which means this dude is planning something massive. It's getting intense. Okay, so our boy figures out the dungeon master is obsessed with resetting the world. Dark stuff. He's saying this Yoongyok Yu doesn't care about the worlds he abandons, but someone points out his support constellation is a fortune teller. But our boy's already connecting the dots. This isn't random, it's all tied to the regressions. He's wondering if everything resets with Yoongyok Yu, or if a parallel universe continues to exist. Heavy questions. He'd be relieved if everything just reset, but if there's a parallel world, things get messy. The team notices the dungeon is strangely empty, and someone's starting to freak out. Totally understandable. Suddenly, someone reveals they're here to stop Yoongyok Yu from dying and triggering another regression. Whoa, major plot twist. Someone points out all the posters are ripped up, and our boy immediately blames Yoongyok Yu. No way he's wrong. He's thinking about the master and straight up says he knows more than he lets on. Jihai casually drops she loves swords, and honestly, this is a little unsettling. Someone else chimes in about the thrill of cutting things, and it's clear they're both a little too into it. Our boy gets a serious look from Jihai, who points out his sword looks nice. It's a weird flex. Jihai explains the master gifted her the sword, and then she just starts rambling about how good it is. The other guy tries to play it cool, saying his sword is pretty good too, but he's totally flustered. Our boy is straight up suspicious, wondering why these two are suddenly so eager to talk about weapons. Jihai asks why he talks to Hueyuan differently, and it's a low-key burn, seriously. This dude tries to cover by saying he admires cool, older women. What a terrible excuse. Someone grabs him from behind and things are getting chaotic fast. No time to process that excuse. Jihai shouts for everyone to be quiet, sensing someone else is nearby. This dungeon is a mess. They find a staircase and someone notices all the posters are ripped to shreds. It's super creepy. Someone spots a single poster left and it's a dinosaur one. Seriously. Our boy starts descending the stairs with Jihai and she's giving him the side eye, still suspicious. The group finds the others and someone asks if they're sure this place is full of something. Our boy already knew. He claims he warned them, but they're not buying it. Classic disbelief. They seem reliable, someone says, but our boy's internal monologue is going wild. He knows this isn't right. Whispers break out. Who are these people? Apparently no one in Chungyuro has seen them before. Jihai asks how he talks to Hueyuan, and our boy gets flustered, trying to cover it up. He claims he admires cool, older women. What a terrible attempt at a save. But then they realize someone else is here. They're worried about poison gas and the scenario, but our boy knows these prophets weren't in any of Yu's regressions. A blinding flash erupts and the group is totally caught off guard. It's intense. The light fades, but everyone except our boy is gone, straight up vanished into thin air. They're freaking out, desperately asking what happened, but it's silent and eerie. Our boy stares at a shattered window, realizing he's the only one left. This is bad. He's reeling, thinking about how this is exactly how it played out in the novel. He remembers the scenario. The prophets eliminate all but one, and it's never him. But wait, this time it's different. He wasn't supposed to survive this part, no way. Sinister smile creeps across his face. This dude is starting to enjoy the chaos. He realizes he's been set up as the final target, and honestly, he's kinda impressed. Our boy is ready to play the role of the last man standing. Bring on the fight. He asks Hueyuan if she likes movies, totally playing it cool while everyone just vanished. She's confused but says she's fine, and this dude casually declares he'll protect everyone from now on. The plot twist, a notification pops up. He's been hit by a projection beam, seriously. He starts glitching, dissolving into blue pixels. It's like he's being digitized. The light intensifies and his body is breaking apart, pixel by pixel. It's intense. We get a full view of the disintegration, legs first, then everything else fades to light. Projection beam is now aimed at a poster for Jurassic Park, a Jurassic Park parody. And just like that, he's standing in a jungle, feet sinking into the muddy ground. No way. He's fully materialized in the jungle, and honestly, he's kinda enjoying this messed up scenario. Our boy is now in the scenario itself, bro. It's happening. He's inside the novel. He's taking in the jungle, feeling the sun, and honestly, it's kinda peaceful for a moment. But wait, feathers start raining from the sky, a ton of them, and it's seriously unsettling. Okay, so things are bad. A massive, monstrous crocodile thing just opens its mouth, and it is huge. Everyone's running for their lives, straight up sprinting as this beast roars and starts moving. This dude is booking it, but the monster is way faster. It's gaining on them quickly. People are screaming, desperately trying to escape, but it feels hopeless. The monster is closing in. The monster swings a claw and one guy gets clipped, flying through the air. No way. Another person tries to fight back with a sword, but against that thing, it's a mosquito bite. Our boy is dodging and weaving, trying to avoid becoming lunch, but the monster's attacks are relentless. The monster swats at him and he barely rolls out of the way. That was way too close for comfort. Another person goes down, tripped up, and the monster is right there, ready to pounce. It's terrifying. Everyone's scattering, but the monster is just plowing through everything, and honestly, it's chaos. Someone gets swatted aside, and our boy jumps in to protect another guy. Talk about brave. This dude pulls out a pipe like that's gonna stop a dinosaur, but he's determined to fight. The others are freaking out, asking if he's actually going to take on that monster seriously. He sighs and says they have to get to the research lab to open the exit. It's their only way out. They realize the building they need to reach is the central research lab. It's all connecting now. Our boy drops a bombshell. They are in a movie, and he's not about to let this be a tragedy. He declares they're going to give this fight an amazing finale. This dude is a wild card. Everyone looks at him like he's lost it, but honestly, I'm kind of on his side. He's already moving, pipe raised, ready to face the monster. This is insane. And the monster is coming right at them, jaws open, ready to end things, no time to think. The boy activates his fourth wall skill, blocking some kind of crazy pink energy, thank goodness. He's barking orders, telling Guillaume to get behind him and Huiwen and Gi to spread out, total leader mode. The little kid, apparently a dino expert, explains Tyrannosaurus rexes are surprisingly agile, but have weak side vision. This dude is rambling about when he was young, trying to relate to the kid. It's a weird flex right now. No way, the T-Rex bursts through the ground and it's huge, sending everyone flying. The monster is stomping forward and the group is desperately trying to dodge the attacks. It's a mad scramble. Our boy slides under the T-Rex's leg while the others try to flank it, remembering the kid's advice. Huiwen is going for a risky move, leaping toward the monster's side. This is either genius or disaster. Gi is also attacking, but the T-Rex swats her aside like a fly, and it's terrifyingly fast. Our boy sees Gi going down and is straight up flying through the air to intercept, no hesitation. Guillaume rushes forward, trying to distract the T-Rex, but our boy is already slicing toward it. The T-Rex clamps down on Guillaume, but it's a distraction. Our boy is aiming for a vital spot. He lands a hit and the T-Rex roars in pain, but this thing is barely phased, honestly. Our boy is airborne again, dodging the T-Rex's massive head. He's moving so fast. Guillaume manages to escape the bite, covered in scrapes, and is scrambling back to safety. The T-Rex whips around, trying to get another lock on Guillaume, but our boy intercepts. He's a shield. He's using his sword to deflect the T-Rex's attack, but the force is incredible, sending him flying. Gi and Huiwen are trying to help, launching attacks, but this beast is just too powerful. Our boy crashes into the tall grass, and the T-Rex is bearing down on him for a final attack. But wait, a blinding light erupts and the T-Rex is thrown back, stunned. What just happened? No way, Yungyok actually appears, snatching Guillaume away from the T-Rex's path. This dude is a lifesaver. But the T-Rex isn't giving up. It swings its head around, jaws wide open, aiming straight for our boy. Our boy is dodging, weaving, but the T-Rex is relentless. It's a chaotic, desperate fight for survival. He manages to slice at the T-Rex again, and it actually stumbles back, but it's barely a scratch. Gi and Huiwen are launching everything they have, but their attacks are just bouncing off this monster's hide. Our boy gets sent flying again, crashing into the grass. He's taking a beating, honestly. But then, a blinding flash of light erupts. It's like someone just unleashed a massive energy blast. The T-Rex is thrown back, stunned and disoriented. What the heck just happened? Gi is freaking out, realizing Yungyok took Guillaume away for a reason. She finally gets it. However, Yungyok is now facing a new threat. A massive, glowing blade swings toward him, and it's fast. Our boy is reeling, sent flying through the air after that brutal hit. It's a rough landing, bro. But the T-Rex isn't done. It swipes with its massive claw, and Yungyok barely dodges. That was close. He's leaping back, trying to create distance, but the T-Rex is relentless, swinging again and again. Our boy manages to slice at the T-Rex's leg, drawing blood, but it barely slows the beast down. The T-Rex retaliates, swinging its tail, and Yungyok is sent tumbling. He's taking a serious beating here. Gi and Huiwen are still firing everything they have, but it's like shooting at a tank, totally ineffective. Yungyok is launching a furious assault, his blade glowing with energy, but the T-Rex is just shrugging off the attacks. He's unleashing a final, desperate strike, channeling all his power into the blade. This is it. The blade connects and there's a massive explosion of energy, slicing right through the T-Rex's head. However, the T-Rex doesn't fall. It's still standing and it's looking angry. No way, this isn't over. Dokja screams Yungyok's name, realizing what's about to happen, but it's already too late. A massive, fiery blade slices through the air, aimed straight for Yungyok. It's terrifying. Yoongyuk activates his skill, summoning a blazing sword to intercept the attack, and sparks fly. He's deflecting the blow, but the force is incredible, sending shockwaves through the battlefield. The T-Rex roars, unleashing a wave of fire, and Yoongyuk is completely engulfed in flames. But Yoongyuk doesn't flinch. He's channeling all his power, preparing for another strike. He leaps forward, sword blazing, and slashes at the T-Rex again, a desperate all-or-nothing move. The T-Rex stumbles, but it's still standing, and Yoongyuk is starting to look exhausted. Ji looks up at Yoongyuk, worried, as he pushes through the pain. This is intense. They're inside the cinema dungeon, and it's straight up terrifying, a movie theater turned death trap. Suddenly, a blue light blasts from a Jurassic Park poster, and it's like a level-up sequence just started. Sparks fly as the light hits them, and it's clear something's happening to Yoonhyuk. Our boy is changing. The team asks how many floors are left, but Yoonhyuk is already clearing them, thankfully. The Jurassic Park poster, it's cracking like something's about to break through. No way, this is good. Someone says the poster was fine before, but of course it wasn't. This is a dungeon. Things never stay fine. They need to hurry because they don't know how many floors are left, and the situation is getting intense. The whole building starts to shake and fall apart, with cracks spreading everywhere. It's a total disaster. A massive electrical storm erupts around the building, and honestly, it looks like the end of the world. The cinema dungeon is 9 floors total, including the basement, so they've got a long way to go, and things are only getting crazier. They arrive on the 4th floor with a splash, and it's immediately clear this isn't a normal cruise. Someone barfs seriously. The seasickness hits hard, but another guy tries to reassure him it's okay. Someone wonders how the naval warfare god chose her for this, but honestly, we're all wondering. We start comparing this to the Titanic, and someone straight up asks if they're going to sink the ship themselves. They spot the female lead, Huiwen, and someone compliments her dress. Talk about bad timing. Turns out the guy who was barfing is Jeb Dawson, and everyone loses it. This dude is a problem. Dawson is getting restrained, and it's chaotic. Everyone's yelling and freaking out. But wait, there's another guy, Jeb Dawson, and the original Dawson gets pointed at. It's a full-on identity crisis as they try to figure out which Dawson is which, and things are getting messy. The ship is definitely sinking, and everyone is panicking, but honestly, what did they expect? Someone's pointing fingers and demanding to know who's better than him, but honestly, the tension is thick. The ship is tilting, smoke is billowing, and it's clear this isn't a drill. The Titanic is going down. They realize all the key characters from the story are here, and someone points out the obvious. The ship sinks. Dawson is tied up, and someone suggests just letting him die, but another person hesitates, getting sentimental at a bad time. No way, the woman with the axe straight up aims at Dawson, and everyone is losing their minds. Someone protests, reminding them the cinema master said to save him, but the axe wielder isn't listening. Our boy is shocked, saying Dawson looks so real, but it doesn't matter. She swings the axe. But wait, someone deflects the axe, and it's a close call. This is insane. They argue it's either Dawson's life or theirs, and honestly, the stakes are super high. The woman with the axe insists it's the only way, and things are about to get messy. Prepare for chaos. Okay, so someone just took out Dawson, and straight up, it's a second ending. Wild. They're getting credits for their performance and 500 coins. Apparently, this is like a game now. Our boy is having a full-on existential crisis, realizing these people aren't characters, they're real. They're on the 5th floor, the reward room, but someone is suspicious. No movies here, huh? Whoa, this room is full of props from the movies. It's a treasure trove of weirdness. They can only grab 2 items each, which is a bummer, but honestly, look at all this stuff. But wait, this isn't just a reward room, it's a storage space for movie props, and things are getting creepy. Someone is questioning if this is a good idea, but the others are too distracted by the loot. They're all hyped about what they can take, but I have a bad feeling about this, seriously. However, they're quickly realizing this isn't a normal reward room, and things are about to go down. Okay, so this dude is explaining the items are replicas, not the real deal. Grade copies, though. He reveals this reward room was the only reason he came to this cinema dungeon, and honestly, respect. No way. Huiwen's eyes light up at a sword, the Mikazuki Monachika replica, and it's stunning. The sword's description is wild, one of 5 legendary blades with a crescent moon engraving, so cool. Huewon is absolutely losing it over this sword, and she's feeling grateful to Arbai, which is kinda sweet. They realize they can only take 2 items each, but Huewon immediately volunteers to grab one for Sangha too. Arbai says he'll pick something for Hyunseon. This dude is a total bro, seriously. But then a shield, the shield of Hercules replica, and it's huge. Things are escalating fast. He's inspecting the shield closely, and honestly, it looks ancient and kinda creepy. Then boom, Thunder God Thor's hammer appears and everyone's freaking out, because of course it does. Huewon asks if she can have the hat, and Dokja, surprisingly, says yes, it looks good on her. Suddenly, someone else appears, and they're not happy about the hat, yelling it's theirs. This dude straight up tries to grab the hat from our boy, but he's faster and snatches it first. He lifts the hat, revealing a golden artifact underneath, and everyone is shocked, especially the guy who wanted it. The glass case is shattering as Dokja pulls the artifact free, and it's a complete mess. Huewon asks Dokja what he's taking, but he's already got the artifact secured, and it's clear he's prioritizing it. The other guy is losing it, yelling about how unfair this is, and honestly, he's kinda right. We get a close-up of Dokja walking away with the artifact, leaving everyone else speechless. The shield-holding guy and another dude are staring after him, and it's clear they're not thrilled. Dokja's got the artifact and he's out. This dude is playing a whole different game than everyone else. Dokja's hands meet with someone else's, and it's a tense tug-of-war for the artifact. Suddenly, Dokja gets a power-up, damage reduction, enhanced enemy detection, and he's feeling super agile. He's suited up in reinforced armor, and it's grade of protection, seriously solid stuff. The team is ready to go, but someone reminds everyone not to spoil the movie. No way. They're moving out, heading to find the regressor, and things are about to get intense. Close up on Dokja's eyes, and bro looks focused, like he's already 10 steps ahead. He kicks open a door with one swift move, and it's a dramatic entrance for sure. Team rushes in, questioning who the culprit is, but they're clearly on edge. Someone yells not to spoil anything, reminding them about the movie, which is hilarious. Dokja's really playing a different game, and the others are starting to realize it. Dokja just snatched a skill book, straight up, he's leveling up like crazy right now. Okay, so Dokja is reading, and suddenly gets a system notification saying his memory is improving from a book he already finished. Weird, right? Jai, this fierce swordswoman, doesn't look amused by his question, and she's got a sword on her shoulder. Tension is building. We get a close-up of Jai's face, and she's clearly unimpressed. She's a no-nonsense type, for sure. More GI, but this time it's a side view. She's still giving him the death stare. This is awkward, even for us. Suddenly, chaos erupts. It looks like they're getting attacked, and someone is yelling Jahai! Things are going south fast. It's a full-blown battle scene, with people falling and this dude with a shield rushing in. No way, this is intense. Someone is down and our boy is clearly worried. Jahai is in danger, and he's panicking. Understandable, honestly. More people are going down, and the scene is just a mess of flailing limbs and desperation. It's a complete bloodbath. He's yelling, looking shocked at the carnage around him, and looks like he's about to jump into the fray. But will it be enough? Jai's down, bleeding out, and our boy is losing it, straight up refusing to let her go. He's screaming at the others to handle it, begging Jihai to just hold on a little longer. But one of the soldiers calls him out, asking what he even expects them to do. This dude tries to play it cool, saying he knows what's going on, but he's totally bluffing. He claims he knows why Jai's acting so strangely, but then admits it's because she's seasick. However, it's a total lie. She's not seasick at all. This is about her dead friend's favorite movie. And honestly, it's a gut punch. This movie was important to her, and she's reliving a painful memory. He's reeling, finally understanding, and looks completely devastated by the revelation. He realizes this movie was her friend's favorite, and she's probably replaying it in her head. Our boy is shocked, finally understanding the real reason Jahai is so broken. It's intense. He's not just messing around. This dude knows everything about Jihai, and she's freaking out about it. She demands to know how he figured it out, but he drops a bomb. He's not from the Deoksu Lee clan at all. No, he's from the Jeonju clan, and it's a total power play. He's laying all his cards on the table. He starts rattling off facts about Admiral Oki Lee, a legendary figure from history, and it's intense. Apparently, this admiral led the Joseon army to victory, and it's all connected to Jai's family history. The constellation naval warfare god is watching Jihai with sorrow. Something big is about to go down. He's flexing on her, revealing he knows all about her past and her connections. It's a straight-up mind game. Jai's on the ground, completely stunned, while he stands over her, radiating power. He's not just strong, he's informed, and she's realizing she's in way over her head. And honestly, this is a total reversal. She thought she had the upper hand, but this dude is playing chess. Okay, so the naval warfare god is basically giving our boy a quest, a bounty scenario. It's intense. The goal: encourage Admiral Li's reincarnation Jihai and win the Battle of Myeongyang. No pressure, right? But the reward is insane. One of the great admiral's stigmas, and he can get it without a support contract. He's hyped, straight up buzzing with power, but Jihai's still reeling from the truth bombs he dropped. Suddenly, a soldier bursts in. The battle is starting and ships are already approaching. Things are escalating fast. Our boy grabs Jihai, pulling her up, and yells there's no time to explain. He's taking charge. He's shouting orders, and the whole scene is chaos. Ships are ramming into each other. It's a naval brawl. But Jihai's still struggling, and the enemy soldiers are closing in. This is getting dangerous. He shields her with his body, taking the brunt of an attack. Bro is a total protector. However, he's focused on one thing: getting Jihai to fight and lead, because this battle depends on her. He's screaming at the soldiers to get up, because they still have a chance to save lives. Our boy is a leader. Jai's suddenly stepping up, grabbing a sword, and actually fighting alongside him. She's finding her courage, but it's a bloodbath straight up. Soldiers are falling all around them, and the enemy is relentless. He's unloading with those flintlock pistols, taking down enemies left and right. This dude is a weapon. Jai gets hit, but our boy dives to protect her, taking the impact. He's risking everything for her. However, he's not just protecting her. He's pushing her to fight, telling her it's her battle too. She's down, clearly hurt, but still trying to get back up. She's determined. No way she's giving in. They're in a movie theater. Seriously? They're eating popcorn? What is happening? Gi and another woman are laughing, looking totally carefree. But it feels wrong. This is a trap. He's straight up broken, telling himself he doesn't deserve to live. This is rough, man. But he's also laying blame on himself, admitting he's using everyone to survive. Talk about a dark turn. He's ranting about earning the right to live, saying it isn't just given. It's intense, honestly. Suddenly, a massive attack comes out of nowhere, and he's getting slammed. No safe space for our boy! He declares it doesn't matter if he atones for his past. He's embracing the darkness, it seems. More attacks rain down, and he's getting pulverized. This dude is taking a beating. However, he's using his knowledge of the story to stay alive, manipulating everyone around him. We see a flashback of other characters. They're all part of his twisted plan, and it's chilling. He's blocking attacks, but getting crushed. It's a brutal fight for survival, no doubt about it. And then more attacks, a final clash. This is a desperate all-or-nothing moment. He's kneeling, completely broken, but then, a system message pops up saying he understands Jihai's story. What? He's screaming at them, asking if they all want to die. Total villain energy right now. He's clutching his hands, declaring he doesn't want to die, and honestly, it's a mess of emotions. A constellation, naval warfare god, reacts to Jihai's will, whatever that means, and things are escalating fast. He's getting slammed with attacks, taking a beating while clutching a weapon. This is brutal, bro. He's sobbing, but somehow manages to brace himself. This dude is a wreck, but refusing to go down. We get a close-up of his tear-streaked face. It's intense, and you can see the desperation in his eyes. Another system message hits. He's gained an excellent understanding of Jihai, and it's seriously unsettling. He's going full on dark mode, embracing the fight, and it's clear he's not holding back anymore. But just when you think he's lost it, he clenches his fists and straight up says he won't die here. He's unleashing a massive ice storm, a whirlwind of power, and it's absolutely decimating everything around him. But wait, he's declaring no one ever helps their incarnation when their story is involved, straight up revealing his plan. He's spinning, sword raised, a whirlwind of fury as he charges into the enemy lines. It's a full-on assault. Clang, swords clash, and our boy is fighting like a man possessed, tearing through the enemy forces with relentless attacks. However, the fight is brutal, enemies fall, and the floor is quickly becoming a crimson mess. It's intense. He's standing over a fallen foe, completely covered in blood, but refuses to stop. This dude is a monster now. Okay, so everything is going insane. Jihai Li, this total badass, straight up takes command of the battlefield. She's unleashing some serious power, and it's all fiery and explosive, like a total inferno. The energy is building, and these massive cracks are appearing in the ground as she amps up her attack. She sends a massive wave of energy towards the city, and it's absolutely demolishing everything in its path. Buildings are collapsing, the whole place is getting wrecked, and it's honestly a little terrifying to watch. But amidst the chaos we see someone falling. It's a guy, and he looks seriously hurt. The destruction continues, with more buildings crashing down, and the scene is just pure devastation. We get a close-up at the guy, and he's saying Stuma. Sounds like he's in a lot of pain, poor dude. Jai Li is still going strong, sword in hand, ready to keep fighting and lead the charge. Someone's saying that if she keeps this up, she'll become a naval commander, and honestly, she deserves it. It took less than an hour to unleash this chaos. Jai Li is absolutely demolishing the enemy fleet. The enemy ships are getting blasted, straight up vaporized by her power, and it's a full-on explosion fest. This dude, Stoma, is getting tossed around like a rag doll amidst the wreckage. It's rough, man. Another ship goes down in flames, and Stoma is still somehow alive, but barely holding on. Jai Li keeps attacking, but Stoma manages to strike back with some kind of energy blast. Stoma is sent flying, crashing through debris. Our boy is really taking a beating right now. He's falling, and it looks like he's about to be crushed by falling wreckage. Suddenly a bieng, and more explosions. Stoma is taking a direct hit, but he's still fighting. Another bieng, and Stoma is sent flying again, but he's finally crashing into the water. Finally, the last enemy ship sinks and Jai Li stands there, looking totally unfazed. What a legend. The whole scenario ends, and the cinema master is actually happy with how things played out. Weird, but okay. We hit the 4th ending credit. No way! This is getting intense. Multiple endings are popping up. The cast, Dokja, Huiwan, Jai, and Jiliong, are listed. They're the ones who made it through this crazy scenario. Everything is crumbling around them, but they're still standing, and a massive structure begins to materialize. It's a giant ship glowing with blue energy, rising from the wreckage. This is a serious power-up moment. Dokja is getting patched up, looking roughed up, but Huiwan is there to help, and honestly, he needs it. He's feeling sick again, but Jihai says he did good. She's a total boss, always keeping it together. They're both rewarded with stigmas, the naval warfare god's stigma, and sword song. Big power boosts incoming. Dokja's trying to hold it together, but he's clearly exhausted. This scenario took a toll on everyone. He's leaning on his sword, catching his breath, but he's still standing, and that's what matters right now. Dokja's straight up shocked. Jihai is getting the sword song stigma, but she shouldn't have it yet. He's reeling, realizing someone messed with the story, and the naval warfare god is thanking him. Dokja feels a surge of power, but he's exhausted. This scenario is draining him, no doubt. He thinks he's done, but someone asks if it's over yet, and Dokja's starting to freak out. The naval warfare god gifted him a precious stigma, and Dokja thinks it might give him a shot on 8th floor. They're heading back to the theater, but it's looking different, like something's changed drastically. Dokja's clutching his shield, looking beat, but he's holding on. Our boy is a tank. The naval warfare god expresses gratitude again. This is getting creepy, honestly. Dokja is still getting power-ups, but he's clearly struggling to stay conscious. It's intense. Huiwan and Jihai are worried, and Jai reaches out to steady him. She's a total pro, always there. Dokja's got a weirdly calm reaction. He says the ending was okay, which is kinda unsettling, honestly. They find a memorial wall for the Battle of Myeongmyeong, and it's covered in a creepy message about life and death. The team decides they're going to rescue Jung-Yeok-yu, no questions asked, but something's definitely off. The leader, Seokyeon, straight up orders everyone to follow his lead. Talk about bossy. Jai looks worried, but she doesn't say anything, and honestly, we're feeling her anxiety right now. Dokja's realizing the cinema master isn't someone he can face head-on. This is getting intense. He's rushing up the stairs, and it's a total blur of motion. He's pushing himself hard. He's thinking about Jung-Yeok-yu's regression, and how pointless everything would be if it fails. No pressure or anything. Dokja reveals he used all his saved ampules and coins to boost his stats. This dude is prepared. Clang, clang, the sound of metal on metal echoes as he fights, and he's seriously going all out. They finally reach the 8th floor, the Sky Garden, and Dokja spots Jung-Yeok-yu, looking surprisingly okay. Huiwan and Jihai are confused. They thought Yu was in serious danger, but Dokja's not surprised. Dokja explains he knew Yu would survive, and that this whole situation feels wrong, like a trap. He scans the garden, noticing the eerie floating leaves and the unsettlingly perfect atmosphere. Something's definitely off. He steps forward and suddenly realizes the garden isn't a real place, but a constructed space, a simulation. Dokja immediately recognizes the pattern. This is the work of the cinema master, setting up another scenario. He realizes the cinema master is observing them, testing them, and it's seriously creepy. Dokja declares he's going to break the scenario, refusing to play the cinema master's game. The cinema master's voice booms, questioning Dokja's defiance, and honestly, the tension is insane. Dokja stares straight into the camera, declaring he'll make the cinema master regret underestimating him. Dokja swings his blade, slicing through the fake garden. He's straight up destroying the simulation. Hui-wan and Ji-hai are totally shocked, but Dokja's already anticipating the cinema master's reaction. Dokja's monologue is intense. He's declaring his refusal to be a pawn in this game. No way! He's revealing how much he wanted to hit you, and honestly, a little petty revenge feels good. The cinema master's voice booms, questioning Dokja's defiance, and the tension is seriously building. Dokja stares directly at the camera, promising the cinema master regret. Our boy is not backing down. But something's off. Dokja suddenly feels a weird sensation, like something's not right at all. He whispers Yu's name, realizing something's seriously wrong with his friend. This is getting creepy. Dokja wonders if he put Yu in shock, then Hui-wan suggests Yu might just be angry about the beating. However, Dokja's gut tells him it's more than anger. Something's fundamentally changed with Yu. Dokja stares at Yu, and bro, something is seriously wrong with his eyes. They're completely different. He's whispering, could it be Yu? Realizing Yu is now possessed by the demon god, and honestly, that's terrifying. Okay, so things are insane right now. Our boy is yelling at Ji-hai to watch out. Something big is about to go down. Straight up, this place is falling apart. These weird, glowing threads start appearing everywhere, and Ji-hai looks totally confused. But then a massive, shadowy figure starts forming, and it's clearly not friendly. It's straight up terrifying. No way! The figure lunges, and our boy dives in front of Ji-hai, pulling out his sword to defend her. Ji is clearly freaked out. She's staring with wide eyes, probably realizing they're in serious danger. She shouts, "Master!" And honestly, the desperation in her voice is heartbreaking. She thinks he's getting hurt. The shadowy figure attacks, and the ceiling explodes in a shower of glass and debris. It's total chaos. However, our boy manages to deflect the attack with his sword, but the force sends him flying backwards. He crashes through more debris, trying to protect Ji-hai, and it's a total mess. Seriously, this fight is intense. And just when you think it's over, the figure keeps coming, and it looks like our boy is in real trouble now. Our boy is Feli-ng, using his ability to dash and get away from the shadowy figure. It's a desperate escape, but the figure isn't letting up, and it's revealed Junji-Okyu is somehow under its control. No way! Someone shouts for him to go after the cinema master, and it's clear that's the real target here. This dude is getting seriously messed up, and the cinema master, he's grinning like a maniac. Creepy! Our boy ignores everyone and dashes forward, determined to reach Ji-hai. He's risking everything for her. He intercepts the attack meant for Ji-hai, taking the hit himself, and bro is, ouch! However, he manages to get Ji-hai to safety, shoving her away from the danger. He's a total protector. He's clearly pushing himself to the limit, but he won't let anything happen to her, straight up refusing to fall. Our boy yells at her to run, but she's frozen. She's probably in shock from everything happening. But then, the cinema master speaks, and honestly, this dude is unhinged, promising a grand finale. Our boy swings his sword, but the cinema master deflects it with ease. This is bad, really bad. He's taking a serious beating, blood flying everywhere, but he refuses to go down. What a fighter! He tries to create distance, leaping back, but the cinema master is Raight tier, sword raised high. The cinema master's blade comes down, and our boy barely manages to block. The impact is Heiji. He's losing ground, struggling to stay upright, and the cinema master is just toying with him now. But then, he sees Jai, and a surge of power seems to course through him. A last-ditch effort. He lunges forward, ignoring the pain, aiming to strike, but the cinema master anticipates the move. The cinema master grabs his hand, stopping the attack, and it's a chilling display of power. He's trapped. He's trying to break free, but the grip is too strong, and honestly, it looks like his hand might snap. The cinema master's face is inches from his, and this dude is straight up mocking him. So infuriating. He jumps, trying to escape the cinema master's grasp, and it's a desperate move, honestly. But the cinema master is ready, and he unleashes a terrifying skill, Time of the Thief. No way. The skill creates these swirling vortexes of energy, and our boy is right in the middle. People are getting thrown around like ragdolls and it's pure chaos, but he's focused on Ji-hai. He's trying to reach her, pushing through the attack, but it's like fighting a hurricane. Suddenly, a mysterious figure appears, wielding some kind of device. What's going on here? This guy fires a beam at the cinema master, and it's labeled AI. Is it help? The beam hits, and the cinema master is blasted back, but he's not down for the count, not even close. Our boy is still caught in the skill, getting pummeled, but he's trying to shield Ji-hai. What a hero. Then, a massive golden barrier erupts around him, deflecting the remaining energy. What is this power? The cinema master cancels his skill, and bro is furious. He clearly expected a win. He swings his sword at our boy, but Jung-Hyuk-Yu activates some kind of power, and it's intense. Jai is shocked, but then the screen shows Jung-Hyuk-Yu is unconscious. Wait, what just happened? He's getting absolutely slammed by the sword, but it looks like he's bracing for impact somehow. But the blade stops inches from his face. No way, he's activating a personal skill? A character profile pops up, revealing Jung-Hyuk-Yu as a level 28 regressor with insane stats and skills. Turns out, Jung-Hyuk-Yu's transmission, Stigma, is reactivating all his past skills. This dude is a beast. The cinema master realizes this too, and is absolutely losing it. He thought he had this fight won. He may be ruthless, but the text says Jung-Hyuk-Yu always acts for the greater good. Interesting. Our boy knew the cinema master was strong, but not this strong. This is a whole new level of power. Our boy straight up drinks a T-Rex DNA ampule. Yeah, you heard that right. His stats explode: stamina, strength, agility, even mana get a massive boost. It's insane. He's gushing with vitality and potential, feeling more agile than ever before. But something mysterious is awakening. A white aura starts forming around his sword, and he activates a personal skill called White Star Weapon Aura Level 1. He declares he'll make up for any lack of skill with pure stats. This dude is all confidence. The skill level increases to 2, and he's thinking it'll work since his skill levels aren't high enough yet. Jung-Hyuk-Yu activates Blue Star Weapon Aura Level 2. The power is building up fast. He dashes forward with incredible speed, a blur of energy and steel, leaving a trail of destruction. Our boy is moving so fast, it looks like he's teleporting. The cinema master is getting wrecked. He's a whirlwind of attacks, overwhelming the cinema master, and honestly, this dude had it coming. He challenges the cinema master, and this dude isn't backing down. He wants a fight. The cinema master attacks with these weird, fish-like projectiles, but our boy is dodging like a pro. He's weaving through the attacks, closing the distance, and preparing to strike. It's a blur of motion. He swings, and the swords clash with a massive seal-edge. The force of the impact is insane. Another clash, another seal-edge. The air is filled with sparks and energy as they trade blows. He's getting closer, pushing the cinema master back, but the guy's still putting up a fight. The cinema master counters, nicking our boy's cheek. Ouch, that looks like it stings. He doesn't even flinch though, and retaliates with a powerful upward swing. It's brutal. Phalange. The swords meet again, and he's driving the cinema master back, relentlessly. He's relentless, but the cinema master is still standing, looking surprisingly unbothered. He's pushing himself to the absolute limit, even with the stat boost, and it's clearly taking a toll on him. But despite the strain, he keeps attacking. This dude is determined to end this fight, no matter the cost. Okay, so things are in Tennessee right now. A mysterious figure suddenly appears, sword drawn, and demands to know who our boy is. He's caught completely off guard. This dude barely has time to react before the sword swings towards him. But wait, there's a geolo, red sparks are flying, and it looks like something's awakening inside him. No way! The system is going wild, straight up telling us the fourth wall is breaking, because he's too immersed in the story. The swords clash and the impact sends debris flying. It's a full-on battle breaking out, and it's messy. He's down on one knee, clearly struggling, but he's staring at his opponent, wondering if he's actually awakened. Our boy is trying to figure out if this new power is real, if his words actually got through to this enemy. He's thinking it might be too easy. Could this be happening? Is this dude actually coming to his senses? The enemy is silent, just staring back, and it's giving off major "I've changed" vibes. But can we trust it? He's questioning if this is possible, if everything he's worked for is about to be undone by a simple conversation. The cinema master is strengthening his control over Jung-Hyuk-Yu. Wait, what? He's being manipulated. Jung-Hyuk-Yu is reeling, clutching his head in pain as the power surges through him. But hold up. Jung-Hyuk-Yu's Blue Star Weapon Aura is GRYG Strong GR, and it's a serious glow-up. This dude is unleashing a massive burst of energy, and the cinema master is clearly surprised. He's shouting that it shouldn't be this easy, like he expected a tougher fight, but bro is getting wrecked. A huge explosion rips through the area. Seriously, the ground is cracking. It's intense. The cinema master is straight up saying, it's unfair fighting the protagonist. Can you believe the nerve? He's admitting Jung Yeokyu will become much stronger in the future, which is a weird thing to say mid-battle. And then, he just says he let Jung Yeokyu have that power, like it was planned all along? What? Jung Yeokyu is left standing there, completely confused, while the cinema master just walks away. Talk about a cliffhanger. Jung Yeokyu is thinking if he gives it his all, he's might be able to win, but it's a long shot. Suddenly, a special property called Unbreakable Faith activates, and everyone's like, whoa! He's thinking he can overpower the cinema master, just this once, and unleashes a massive attack. The attack lands, and it's Huju, everything's shaking, and he's putting all his energy into this. But the cinema master is barely phased, he's just casually blocking with his sword. Now things get weird. A sword song ability activates, and it's described as one of the strongest buffs ever. This ability is randomized, so he has no idea how much of a boost he's getting, but he's gotta use it. He's engulfed in this blue energy, and it's like a battlefield. Arrows, gunfire, a total storm is brewing. A phrase from the naval warfare god engulfs his sword, and it's seriously intense. He's getting a massive power up. The energy is surging, and our boy is ready to fight. Even if the boost is random, he's going all in. Okay, so the cinema master is getting absolutely bombarded with attacks, but he's standing firm. This dude is a tank. He's unleashing a crazy sword technique, deflecting everything, and it's like a blue storm is forming around him. The sheer force of the clash is sending debris flying, and the ground is cracking. It's a total disaster zone. Now we get a close-up of our boy, and his eyes are glowing. He's serious about winning this fight. He's channeling all that power into his sword, and it's like a raging tempest is contained within the blade. The attack comes crashing down, and it's insane. Arrows and gunfire are just dissolving around him. Everything's a blur of blue energy, and it feels like the entire battlefield is getting ripped apart. No way! He's slicing through the attacks, but the cinema master isn't backing down. This is a clash of titans, bro. The attack lands and the cinema master finally stumbles. But it's just for a moment. He recovers fast. But the real question is, who is the mysterious figure watching from the shadows? What are they planning? Junghyuk activates resuscitation level 2 and a green energy wave explodes outwards. It's a full-on healing surge. The wave slams into the cinema master, and for a moment, it looks like it's actually working, restoring him. But wait, the energy isn't just healing. It's rewinding the damage he just took, reversing the attack. This is insane. He's literally undoing the cinema master's moves, sending the force back at him. A counter of counters. The cinema master is reeling, caught completely off guard as his own power turns against him. And it's brutal. Our boy is pushing the skill to its limit, channeling everything he has into this reversal. It's a gamble. The cinema master tries to brace himself, but the force is overwhelming, and he's sent flying backwards. He crashes through barriers, and the whole area is collapsing, but Junghyuk isn't stopping. He's relentless. The cinema master shouts out a name, Jilliong, like it's a desperate plea, and honestly, it's kinda heartbreaking. This dude is down, but not out, and Junghyuk is standing over him, ready to finish the fight. No mercy. The cinema master unleashes a massive wave of energy, but Junghyuk doesn't even flinch. He just absorbs it. No way. The energy is overloading him, cracking his body like glass, but he's holding on, channeling it all. This dude is straight up risking everything, pushing his limits beyond what seems humanly possible. He focuses the overflowing energy, shaping it into a giant, glowing sphere. It's a terrifying sight. Suddenly, a monstrous insect bursts through the barriers. A grade 6 monarch-level Titanoptera? Talk about bad timing. The Titanoptera attacks, but Junghyuk doesn't even look. He launches the energy sphere, aiming right for the monster. The sphere connects, and the Titanoptera is engulfed in light, but it's also sending a shockwave toward Junghyuk. He's thrown back, completely vulnerable, and the Titanoptera is still standing, but the monster is weakened. The cinema master is taking advantage of the chaos, lunging at Junghyuk with a spear, trying to finish him off. But Junghyuk, even battered and bruised, manages to barely dodge, muttering Titano. He's clearly messed up. The cinema master is going for the kill shot, but Junghyuk's suddenly moving. It's a desperate counter. No way. The spear connects, and Junghyuk goes flying, crashing through everything in sight. He slams into debris, but even through the wreckage, he's still trying to get up. This dude is relentless. The cinema master's not giving him a chance, stepping forward to finish the job with his foot. But wait, a red light flares in the Titanoptera's eye, and it's charging up another attack, aiming right for Jung Hyuk. Jung Hyuk is scrambling, grabbing his sword, and somehow manages to block the Titanoptera's attack. Just barely. The force of the blow sends cracks spreading across the ground, but he's holding firm, deflecting the monster. He screams, pushing through the pain, and leaps forward, swinging his sword at the Titanoptera's leg. Direct hit. The Titanoptera stumbles, and Jung Hyuk's landing. But the cinema master is right there. The cinema master's grinning like a maniac, raising his cane to strike. Our boy is trapped between two threats. Okay, so the third scenario, emergency defense, just wraps up. It's intense, trust me. This dude, Jung Hyuk, is down for the count, straight up code after the fight, and everyone's checking on him. The conditions were brutal. Destroy all the green zones, then survive a monster onslaught, and they pull it off. They get the 1000 coins reward, but honestly the real prize is staying alive because failure means death. But here's the kicker, it hasn't even been 10 minutes since the last scenario ended. Things are moving fast. Someone tells them to stay with Jung Hyuk, making sure he's okay after taking a beating. A woman asks if it's okay, and she seems genuinely concerned about this dude. She admits she wants to smack him on the head again, no joke, she's not messing around. She nods, agreeing to let someone know if Jung Hyuk wakes up, and it's kinda awkward. Our boy is shocked, another scenario is already starting. No way, this is relentless. Okay, so while everyone's focused on Jung Hyuk, Kim Nam-woon is having a moment. He's cradling Jung Hyuk and straight up starts talking. He's dropping hints about knowing something big, saying, you know what I'm about to say, right? Super cryptic. They're walking down the stairs and Nam-woon explains that constellations, powerful beings, aren't all-knowing, which is huge. Basically, information can be filtered from them, and Nam-woon is betting his earlier words went through that filter. He thinks they hid the fact Jung Hyuk was a regressor in the early chapters of the novel, and it's a bold claim. Nam-woon rattles off a series of moments, crying, having a connection, fighting, implying they were all staged or manipulated. He insists it wouldn't have been any less severe if they'd revealed Jung Hyuk's true identity earlier. It's a serious accusation. But it gets even crazier. Nam-woon claims they deliberately downplayed Jung Hyuk's power as a regressor from the very beginning. Suddenly, Jung Hyuk snaps awake and asks if Nam-woon is talking about him too, total whiplash. And honestly, the look on Jung Hyuk's face is terrifying. He's clearly remembering something, and it's not good. Jung Hyuk is questioning if this is a restriction put in place by the feasibility, whatever that is. Nam-woon is all business, demanding to see messages from the highest-paying constellations. He's a straight-up manager now. A notification pops up. A few constellations are interested in Jung Hyuk. Talk about a plot twist. Nam-woon offers to carry Jung Hyuk, saying he's tired. It's a surprisingly sweet moment, honestly. Jung Hyuk thanks him, but his expression is off. This dude is clearly processing something huge. We get a close-up of Jung Hyuk, and he's visibly shaken. He's remembering something awful, no doubt. A glimpse of Huiwen's face, looking concerned as Nam-woon continues to support Jung Hyuk. Jung Hyuk calls out Huiwen. It's a complete surprise, and Huiwen looks super confused. Huiwen's shocked expression is front and center, while Jung Hyuk is still reeling from whatever he remembered. Jung Hyuk asks if she heard something, and Huiwen confirms she did. This is getting seriously intense. Jung Hyuk suddenly reveals he knows the future partially. No way, this is a game changer. He asks if Sangha or Hyunseong know too, but Nam-woon confirms nobody does, yet. But hold up, Nam-woon's got a seriously unsettling vibe, asking if Jung Hyuk is implying something awful. Jung Hyuk insists he's not trying to kill anyone, which honestly is a weird thing to have to say. Nam-woon is all, why would you say that? And Jung Hyuk drops a bomb. People say things like, you know too much when this happens. Huiwen is straight up terrified as Jung Hyuk's hand reaches for her, and it's clear something bad is about to go down. He warns them the scenario ahead will be even more dangerous, and their lives will be in danger. Talk about foreshadowing. Jung Hyuk's face is a mess, filled with worry, and it's obvious he's seen a horrible future. Our boy is reeling, remembering something terrible, and it's connected to this whole situation for sure. He's clearly realizing something, and the expression on his face is saying it all. Yoon Hae-ok is straight up asking Hee-won to be his companion, like always by his side. No pressure. Hee-won agrees, but she's clearly unsettled, and the atmosphere is thick with tension. She's trying to get a hold of herself, and Yoon Hae-ok's face is unreadable. This is creepy, bro. But then someone shouts Hyun-seong and Dokja. It's a total scramble, and everyone's freaking out. Someone yells it's him and accuses whoever it is of being a total bastard. Ouch, harsh words. The scene is chaos, and it's clear everyone's realizing something terrible is happening. Hee-won and Sangha look worried, while Yoon Hae-ok seems to be in shock. What's going on? Yoon Hae-ok keeps repeating Sangha's name, and it's obvious he's seen a horrible future unfold. This dude is seriously panicking, and the others are confused, but it's about to get real. However, it looks like they are on floor 4, and the floor is absolutely wrecked. Talk about a bad sign. Someone's getting wrecked, and it's not pretty, bro. This guy is seriously regretting his life choices. A notification pops up. The 4th main scenario is starting in 5 minutes. Talk about bad timing. Everyone is getting tagged with glowing blue boxes like they're being targeted. Super ominous, honestly. The guy who attacked Dokja is screaming about how strong our boy has become, but it's not going well for him. Dokja casually shrugs and asks how everyone's been, which is unsettling considering the chaos. He's straight up saying they've all looked great, but then a giant glowing hand comes crashing down. Everyone's freaking out, and Yoon Hae-ok is yelling, "What is it this time?" like he knows this is gonna be bad. Dokja announces he's here to talk about the 4th main scenario, but warns them it's not gonna be easy. He says they have to team up with the other stations, and Hee-won jumps, looking totally stressed. Dokja promises they're going to love what he has to say, but there's a prerequisite mission first. No way. They're saying they need a leader for the Cheongneuro station, straight up, because things are about to get chaotic. A new sub-scenario drops out of nowhere, and it's called Leader Election, a warm-up, they say. Yeah, right. The rules are simple. Grab the white flag on the platform in 30 minutes, and you're the leader, getting 1,000 coins. But here's the catch: fail and you get absolute authority over everyone here, which sounds terrifyingly good. Suddenly, a blue light explodes and a platform appears complete with that white flag. It's game time, bro. Everyone's scrambling, and this one dude is straight up bulldozing through people to get to the flag. He yells, "Out of my way," and tries to push past, but honestly, this dude had it coming. Sparks fly as someone tackles him. It's a total free-for-all, and the crowd is going wild. It's a mess of limbs and shouting with people tripping over each other, but someone's making a beeline for the flag. However, the guy in the hat is pushing everyone aside. He's determined to win, and he isn't playing nice. This dude in the hat is not having it. He declares he won't take orders from whoever's controlling this scenario. He launches himself forward straight into a wall of blue energy. It's a full-on blast. Our boy slams into the ground, and it's brutal, but then a message pops up. He's been given authority as per the contract. He's completely flattened, but now he can command everyone. Talk about a messed up power-up, bro. Okay, so the scenario drops, and it's straight up a capture the flag mission. Each group has a flagpole, and they gotta defend it. The rules are brutal. If another group takes your flagpole, they get to decide your fates. No pressure, right? But here's the kicker: you can attack other groups' flagpoles too, and the leader is the only one who can plant the flag. They've got 12 days to plant their flag at Changshan Station, or everyone in the group dies. Seriously, the stakes are insane. The team is reading the scenario details, and they're realizing just how messed up this is. Apparently, if the leader falls, anyone who takes the flag becomes the new one. They figure out their target is Changshan Station, and honestly, it's way further than they thought. Yikes, it's a long haul. This dude is asking if they even know where Changshan Station is, and everyone just stares at him. Like, are you serious? Someone points out that planting your flag on another group's pole means you get to control their fate. Straight up terrifying. They're looking at a map of the stations, and Changshan is way out there. It's gonna be a race against time and other groups. And honestly, this dude is already hyped, and it's kinda creepy. He's all smiles like he's got a plan. Okay, so they're figuring out a plan, and it involves going through the tunnels to get to Changshan Station. They decide to split up, some scout, some guard, but then BAM, a huge explosion rocks the station. But here's the insane part: the safety barrier around the station is down, meaning they can move freely between stations now. They find Pildu, another player, totally wrecked, but he's alive, barely. Our boy demands Pildu talk, and honestly, the guy's in rough shape, but he starts spilling the tea. Pildu reveals he's a landlord, someone who owns territory, but he's lost everything and needs to adapt. This dude's straight up broken, but our boy is like, tough luck, new rules, and it's kinda cold. However, Pildu gives them crucial intel. A group called Gowing is already moving to attack. And then, no way, another message drops. The gatekeeper is awakening. This is getting wild. So Gowing is coming, the gatekeeper is waking up, and our boy is just standing there, ready to face it all. Okay, so this guy is ordering someone to guard the station, but the other dude is straight up refusing. He wants a reward first. He lays down the law and no forcing, but cooperate and you will get paid. It's a weirdly fair offer, honestly. But he doesn't stop there, bringing up this person's family being separated. Talk about hitting below the belt, bro. Suddenly, a motorcycle comes screaming through the station, and it's heading right for them. No time to react. The motorcycle smashes through everything, sending debris flying and everyone scrambling for cover. Everyone is stunned, yelling, "How did you?" as the motorcycle keeps tearing through the station. It's a full-on rampage and the speed is insane. This dude is not messing around and it's terrifying. Motorcycle bursts through another barrier, creating a massive explosion of light and sound. They're all caught in the blast wave, and honestly, it's chaos. Everyone is getting thrown around. But even with all the destruction, it looks like they're escaping, zooming away at full speed. What a ride. Okay, so the motorcycle tears through the station, and everyone's realizing this isn't just a drill. The invasion has started. Someone asks if this is possible, and our boy is like, "Quiet, they can hear you." He's trying to keep it together. He reminds them that scenarios can change between stations, and this is getting super tense, straight up. But then someone blurts out about how they almost wet their pants. Seriously, the timing is awful. The main guy is telling everyone to lower their weapons and approach slowly, but it's a messed up scene with blood everywhere. He orders them to lower their weapons, but it's clear someone else already opened fire. No way. This dude is saying "huh" and looks confused, but there's a ton of gunfire. He's definitely walking into a trap. They're demanding he lower his weapons, but honestly, this whole situation is a setup, bro. Someone is clearly freaking out, but our boy is trying to keep it cool. It's a disaster unfolding right before our eyes. This dude, Ilhan Kang, introduces himself as the vice leader of the Dongdaemun group. Talk about a power move. Someone recognizes the name and immediately gets suspicious. They're thinking this is way too convenient. Our boy is getting a character profile on Ilhan, and it's interesting. He's a rumor expert, age 31, and has a weird constellation. The profile says Ilhan spreads rumors, true and false, and our boy instantly knows this guy is from the novel. It's a huge red flag. Ilhan asks for names and Dr. Kim responds. Ilhan's reaction is intense, like he's genuinely shocked. Ilhan repeats the name and Dokja's group tenses up. Something is seriously off with this guy. Ilhan claims they aren't there to fight, just to make an offer, but no one's buying it. The atmosphere is so thick you could cut it. Ilhan starts explaining, but he's basically saying they've gotten to the point where they're done talking. Super passive-aggressive. Dokja is calling him out and Ilhan just laughs it off. This dude is playing games and honestly, it's annoying. Ilhan offers a deal, but Dokja's group is refusing. They're not trusting him, and frankly, they shouldn't. He's right, no one's holding the flag, but Dokja notices something off about the guy in front of him. Ilhan straight up offers them an alliance, but Dokja's group is not having it. They're totally suspicious. To be honest, Ilhan admits Chungnyeoro isn't their target station, and things are getting really weird. Ilhan explains they wouldn't have brought the whole group if Chungnyeoro was the place. It's a strategic move. He says the best time to strike is when the station is just opening, and honestly, it's a little creepy. Someone asks if Dongdaemun Station is the real target, and Ilhan just laughs. This dude is a mess. Ilhan is basically saying they're here to observe, but everyone knows he's hiding something big. Dokja figures out Ilhan is testing them, gauging their strength, and our boy is playing along. However, Ilhan reveals he knows Dokja is the reader. No way, he's known all along. Ilhan explains Dokja is the key to everything, and Dokja's group is officially on edge. This is escalating quickly. Ilhan's group is laying it all out. They've been watching Chungnyeoro for 2 days already, and they know more than Dokja does. They offer to share info, and honestly, it's a little too convenient, like they want Dokja to trust them. Dokja recalls the original novel, and Chung Yuro started late in the story, meaning they're definitely behind on intel. But Ilhan drops a bomb. They have a sure win tactic for the fourth scenario, and Dokja's group is like, okay, now you have our attention. They're pitching themselves as allies, promising Dokja won't regret it, and honestly, it's a little unsettling. Ilhan asks where their leader is, and Dokja doesn't hesitate. He's in Dongdaemun and will lead the way if they want. They start walking, and there's a disturbing sight on the floor. Blood. This is getting messy. Someone yells, wait, but Ilhan doesn't even flinch. This dude is ice cold. Ilhan just keeps walking, and Dokja's group is left to follow, clearly suspicious. Something is definitely off. Okay, so things are INTS. Hyuntae Kim, the leader of Myeongdong, is straight up activating something huge. He's using the effect of the red flag, and the whole Myeongdong group gets a buff attack and defense up 5%. No way. This dude is yelling for them to fight their way to the flagpole, and honestly, it's kinda intimidating. The red flag is pulsing with power, and everyone's getting stronger, like a team-wide power up. It's a little scary. The other groups are noticing the red flag, realizing this Myeongdong leader is a big deal. He's not someone to mess with. Apparently, there are other flags: navy, brown, purple, even black, and each one gives a different buff to the group. The buffs get bitter as the flag color changes, so they're obviously trying to get the best one possible. It's a flag war! Someone's watching them, thinking they're not bad in a fight, but they seriously underestimate what it takes to conquer Chungmuro. This guy drops a truth bomb. They're nowhere near strong enough to take over Chungmuro, and it's a harsh reality check. But our boy knows what's up. He's got a plan, and he's ready to use his knowledge to turn the tables on everyone. Okay, so chaos erupts. The Myeongdong group is getting WRFK'd by the sudden attack. It's a total bloodbath. Everyone's panicking, yelling to regroup, but it's too late. They clearly weren't expecting this level of force. One guy realizes their intel was off, and honestly, he looks absolutely terrified. People are screaming to retreat, trying to escape the onslaught, but it's a free for all. But wait, our boy appears wielding a flaming sword, and he's looking stright at the enemy. He's asking where they think they're going, and the sheer confidence in his voice is sending chills. The sword is Gilo in G, radiating intense heat, and it's clear he's about to unleash something huge. He swings the sword, and a massive wave of fire crashes into the enemy lines. A fiery explosion. The attack is devastating, sending people flying, and it's a total power move. This dude means business. This is insane. He's cutting through everything, leaving a trail of fire, and the enemy is completely overwhelmed. He's slicing through the enemy like butter, a whirlwind of flames and fury. It's a straight-up massacre. But the Myeongdong guys aren't going down without a fight. They're desperately trying to counterattack, throwing everything they have. One of them grabs for the flag, thinking he can secure it, but our boy intercepts him with a brutal strike. The guy goes flying, and honestly, this dude had it coming. Mess with the flag, you get wrecked. Another enemy tries to rush him, sword raised, but our boy just laughs and unleashes another fiery blast. The battlefield is littered with bodies, and it's getting seriously messy. This isn't a fight, it's a slaughter. Someone's crawling away, desperate to escape, but there's nowhere to go. Our boy is sealing them in. One enemy manages to get up, looking shocked, like he can't believe what's happening. Total disbelief. He sees the flag lying there and makes a run for it, but he's injured and moving slow. However, the injured guy collapses, clutching his chest, and it's clear this fight is over. It's brutal. Our boy snatches the flag right out of the air, and a notification pops up. He's got it. No way. His white flag instantly evolves into a red one, absorbing all the power from the Myeongdong group's flag. Sparks fly as the flag changes, and a message appears. He's one step closer to becoming the king. Serious power up. It says gaining a red flag also gives him all the members of that group, but honestly, there aren't many left. Someone asks why he didn't go easy, but the reply is harsh. There's literally no one left alive after this fight. He doesn't even care, claiming he wouldn't show mercy when they attacked him so aggressively. This dude is kneeling amongst the carnage, admitting he couldn't get any useful info from the fallen enemies. They apparently knew he was here and attacked without hesitation. This is getting interesting. Ilan's puzzled to hear he's the leader, but it's clear they came prepared for a fight, and it went horribly for them. Someone speculates that the prophets tipped off the Myeongdong group, and our boy looks concerned. Could be a major plot twist? The captured guy asks what they'll do with him, straight up terrified. But the response is ice cold. They tell him anything that happens during this time he's dead, and then a glowing blade descends. The blade cracks something, and our boy's armor starts failing. It's not looking good. 2, another crack, and the energy is spreading fast, targeting the kneeling prisoner. 3, the blade is closing in, and this dude screams Dongmyo. It's a name, a place, something important. He repeats Dongmyo over and over, like it's a desperate plea, as the energy engulfs him. Someone reveals people at Dongmyo told them about Chungmoro, and a group called the Prophets. Huge info dump. He coughs up blood, but he's still conscious. This dude is tough, but barely hanging on. They're starting to piece things together, realizing the Prophets intentionally sent the Myeong Dong group after him. And honestly, this whole situation is escalating quickly. Something big is about to go down. They're tying up the captured guy, prepping to use some kind of hypnosis on him. No way. Someone realizes the Prophets are using hypnosis to stop leaks, and they're seriously meticulous about it. This dude's struggling, choking, but they're wrapping that glowing thread tighter around his mouth. But it looks like things might actually work out, because the prisoner is still conscious. They explain hypnosis only works on people they've met face to face, so as long as they have him, he'll be able to point them to one of the Prophets. That's the plan! Suddenly, a beautiful shooting star streaks across the sky, a crazy sight even in this chaos. Someone notices the prisoner isn't out of it yet, and flinches. Something's off. A blurry figure appears, and it looks like the prisoner recognizes something about him. And honestly, that's a major cliffhanger. What does he know, and who is that guy? Someone's handing out tissues to the traumatized prisoner, but he's clearly not okay. This is rough. The prisoner rambles about censorship, and this dude's constellation, prisoner of the golden headband, hates it. Our boy realizes someone might have overheard their conversation. Trouble brewing. He's trying to play it cool, pretending he didn't say anything, but it's not working. Suddenly, another voice chimes in, calling them out. This is getting intense. This dude asks what they said, trying to act oblivious, but the tension is thick. They reveal the prisoner mentioned his name, and bro is straight up panicking. Apparently, the prisoner recognized the figure from earlier. It's connected to his past, but it's not just any past. He's connected to the constellation prisoner of the golden headband. And honestly, this revelation throws everything into chaos, because this dude's past is a mystery. The prisoner is clearly remembering something awful. He's spiraling, and it's making everyone around him uneasy. This dude is straight up mimicking what the prisoner says, and it's sending chills down everyone's spines. So creepy! He demands to know what resolution the prisoner made after Eat called. What is Eat even? This is getting wild. But the prisoner isn't answering, and honestly, he looks absolutely terrified, like he's reliving a nightmare. Okay, so things are looking grim. A messy scene, and everyone's realizing this is a seriously difficult situation. Someone asks if Dokja's okay, but more importantly, they're all relieved he's leading the charge right now. This dude straight up asks if he should start calling Dokja Your Majesty? No way is that happening! Everyone bursts out laughing at the idea, but then someone points out the hidden scenario is saying they need to take over stations. The hidden scenario pops up and it's brutal. Take over 10 stations in 10 days or everyone dies, jeez! Dokja immediately focuses on figuring out who attacked them, because of course he does. They decide to head to Dongmyo right away, but Dokja tells Sangha to stay behind, which is kinda sus. Sangha is definitely questioning the order, and Dokja's response is vague, to say the least. Sangha seems to realize something, and honestly, she looks worried about what's about to happen. Dokja just gives her a look, and bro is definitely hiding something big. This is getting intense. Okay, so everyone's laying it all out. Not everyone is a powerhouse, and Sangha's feeling that pressure. They're worried about Sangha's role, realizing she isn't a fighter like Hyewon or a tank like Hyeonsong, but Dokja seems to know something. Dokja brings up something Sangha said in the subway, about having her own life, and it's a total mood shift. Turns out, Sangha actually saved that conversation on her phone, which is wild and kind of foreshadowing something big. The group needs to watch over Pildongong and find someone to lead the anxious members. It's a lot, but they're trying to strategize. They also need to defend against Hyeon, because of course there's another threat, and someone points out they could attack while they're gone. Dokja asks if anyone will support him with the title, and honestly, it's a power move. Someone's asking what that even means, but Dokja's already got a plan, and it involves Ms. Yu. If it's Ms. Yu, this dude is totally on board and everyone else seems relieved, which is something. Dokja's face says it all. He's got a plan, and it's probably gonna be insane. Okay, so Dokja and Ms. Yu just shook hands and bam, she's now the vice representative of Chungro Station? No way! Ms. Yu straight up says she's only doing this because of Dokja, which is a lot to unpack right now. She's giving off major, I'm doing this for him vibes, and it's kinda unsettling, honestly. Dokja accepts her help, but then he's immediately whisked away by his team. Talk about bad timing. Hwon and Hyeon-song are giving him the side eye, like, what did you just get us into? The team's heading towards Dongdaemun Station, and Dokja's laying out the plan. It's all about securing the area. Ms. Yu's got a sly grin on her face, and it's clear she's playing a whole other game. Dokja is giving orders, and it's awesome to see him take charge. Our boy is a natural leader. They're looking at a map of the subway system, and Chungro Station is highlighted, which feels significant. Ms. Yu's all smiles, and it's kinda creepy, but Dokja's trusting her for now. This could backfire, but we'll see. Dokja's team is walking, and he's casually dropping hints about Ms. Yu being more than she seems. She wasn't just a pretty face. Dokja gave her the job because everyone has unique skills, apparently. Hyeon-song is asking for a title, suggesting executioner, but Dokja quickly shuts that down. Smooth move. They're discussing Junggi-okyu, someone left on the roof, and debating if they should just leave him up there. Hwon mentions having a younger brother, a 7th grader, and Dokja immediately asks about him. Weird flex. Hwon says her brother is annoying, but then Dokja clarifies he meant Junggi-okyu, and things get awkward. Hyeon-song reveals he also has a brother, and apparently got into tons of fights because of him. Wow. Dokja's staring intensely, and it turns out he wasn't the only one reading the original web novel. Huge reveal. He's remembering the early days of TWSA, and it's clear someone else knew what was coming all along too. Dokja's face is intense, and you can tell he's connecting the dots. This is about to get good. Dokja blurts out that the people he fought online back then aren't so different from Namwoon. Heavy stuff. Hyeon-song and Ms. Yu are getting close, and someone notices. It's awkward, to say the least. This random guy accuses Hyeon-song of being jealous, and honestly, he's not wrong. They're at Dongdaemun History and Culture Park Station, and Dokja casually announces they've arrived. A sign confirms it's Dongdaemun History and Culture Park, but the station looks seriously abandoned. The system message drops. This station is under Dongmyo Station's control, which is concerning. Dokja and Ms. Yu are on high alert, and the atmosphere is thick with tension. Something's about to go down. That same guy from before is freaking out, and straight up starts sobbing. What is going on? He's screaming about Dongdaemun, and Hwon looks super worried, but Dokja is still stone-faced. No way. This dude is losing it, and it seems like whatever happened here really messed him up. Il Kang gets absolutely wrecked. A full-on ambush. This dude is getting destroyed. Hwon tries to help, but it's too late. Ilon is down, and it's looking grim for everyone. Dokja is processing fast, realizing this wasn't a random attack, but a calculated trap to distract from somewhere else. He figures out whoever hit Myong, Dong and Dongdaemun wanted to fail at Chungworo. What a mind game! Dokja's theory. They were using those attacks as a diversion while they took over Dongdaemun Station. The scene cuts to chaos. People are getting attacked. It's a total bloodbath, and Hwon is trying to hold it together. Dokja connects the dots. Those guys from Myong, Dong were probably part of this larger group. It's all connected. We get a glimpse of shadowy figures moving through the station. They're ruthless and straight up terrifying. Hyeon-song is leading the charge, and Dokja realizes these prophets are the real threat here. Talk about a twist. The camera pans to the Dongmyo sign, and it's clear. They've completely taken over, and Dokja knows things are about to get real. Dokja warns everyone, someone's coming, and he's totally on high alert right now. Suddenly, a group of armed guys appears, and Ilhan immediately recognizes them. Things are escalating fast. Ilhan tries to shield everyone, but these guys are relentless, and Dokja's getting a bad feeling. Dokja activates his character profile skill, and the system starts spitting out info on these unwelcome guests. One of the attackers demands introductions, acting all confident, but Dokja isn't buying it for a second. Dokja realizes this is a setup. They knew Ilhan was there, and it's a full-blown ambush, bro. Okay, so our boy is seriously stressing about whether Seongguk Lee has a file on him, like dirt on everything. He's focused on two things right now: that file, and how many of these prophets are out there. This dude is decked out in chains, but he's activating some crazy skills, the fourth wall, and character profile. He's trying to figure out if these other prophets have the same abilities he does, which is kinda scary if you think about it. But wait, his skills are going off. He's getting info, but it's strange. He realizes they're using a search attribute instead of a full character profile, meaning they don't know much about him, thankfully. However, he's distracted because someone is reading something, and he needs to know what it is. Absolute chaos breaks out. People are flying everywhere, and everyone is yelling, "What are you reading?" Everyone's getting tossed around, but our boy is hyper, focused on what this other dude is reading. Seriously, what is he reading? It's clearly important, and it's messing everything up. Okay, so this dude is losing it. He sees the other prophet checking a strategy guide on his phone, and it's about them. He's freaking out because these guys have internet access now. No way, that's a serious problem. Someone yells for him to follow, saying their leader is waiting inside, but it feels like a trap. Another guy straight up tells him to hurry up and move it, and honestly, it's super aggressive. He's walking into the lion's den, but someone asks, huh? Like they sense something's off. Things immediately go south, because there's a massacre happening, and people are getting sliced up. One of the guys is using a knife, and it's brutal, but another prophet is calmly carrying someone on his back. He tells the others to stay put in guard while he goes inside, which feels kinda sus. They're claiming this place is their own little kingdom, and they're ordering everyone around. But our boy is just standing there, looking at the scene, like he's already figured out what's going on. Everyone's bowing to Junghyuk, and honestly, she's loving every second of it. He's got the prophet carrying him, and it's super weird. Like, why is this happening? We get a look at the subway map, and they're currently at Dongmyo Station, which is key. Someone calls Junghyuk the king of Dongmyo, which is a straight-up power move. He's typing furiously at a keyboard, and it's clear he's taking control of something big. They're calling him the boy who will become the basement, dwelling king of the shadows. Our boy looks shocked. He's realizing just how far along this new player is. More frantic typing. This dude is working fast, and the stakes are getting higher. Apparently, this guy has already completed over half of the king's path. No way. But wait, the typing continues, and this feels like a trap, like he's walking right into it. Donghoon is straight up manipulating comments online. Level 3 skill, not bad. He's using his AO internet skill to block access to Seoul, setting up Dokja's streaming channels. Apparently, everyone thinks Donghoon is the reason they can even use the internet right now. But here's the kicker, he's under a powerful hypnosis, and his constellation is not happy about it. They brought a guest, and Donghoon just gives a week off. He's totally out of it. Someone's bringing up the fact that he got a bed somehow, and it's a little unsettling, honestly. More typing. This dude is activating comment manipulation again, and it's looking intense. He's revealed as the noble basement dweller, the king of all basement dwellers. What a title! Despite being able to control public opinion, he has zero mental defenses. That's a huge weakness. And it turns out the supporting constellation is dissatisfied with how things are going for him. No way! Okay, so the mysterious guy in the suit is interrogating someone, demanding to know who the leader is? Super intense. This other dude, looking totally freaked, finally admits he's as the leader, but asks why he was brought here. The suit guy says it's so they can talk in private, and then straight up extends his hand. Creepy vibes, honestly. But wait, the suit guy reveals he's been getting the info he needs this whole time. He's playing everyone. He knows about the other guy's special power? No way! This is getting seriously complicated. And then, boom, we see a group of people, and the suit guy is casually standing with them. What's the plan? It turns out he's been watching them all along, collecting information and building his network. However, he's not just collecting intel, he's manipulating events behind the scenes. This dude is a mastermind. He's using the internet and the comments to control everything, just like we saw earlier. It's a full-on operation. Our boy is pulling all the strings, and it's clear he's got a huge plan unfolding. This is gonna be good. Okay, so the suit guy reveals this dude has regressed through countless lives, fighting insane battles. He's battled horrible enemies and even fought to save humanity from otherworldly forces. Wild. But apparently, this isn't new. He's realized all this through all his regressions, which is kinda sad. However, things are different this time, because the prophets are helping him through this current loop. They've been receiving revelations about this day for 10 years. That's some serious foresight? Someone nearby is definitely noticing his intensity. Whoa, look at him go, they say. The suit guy explains they have a book of revelations passed down through the prophets, a legendary record. It details all of our boy's exploits in this world, chronicling his past, present, and future. Seriously, this book sounds like it holds all the keys. It's a complete history of this dude's life. And honestly, it's kinda creepy how much they know, but it also means he's not alone this time. So, the prophets reveal they knew about Steelblade Hyeonsong Lee joining his crew. Thanks to this book of revelations, they drop a bomb. He also has delusional demon Namwoon Kim and Naval General Ji-Hai Lee with him, even though they aren't present right now. Our boy is straight up losing it, demanding to know where this book of revelations is. He needs answers, stat. But wait, it turns out the prophets have us memorized fragments of the book. No way. They're prepping him, Mr. Yu, to walk the righteous path. Honestly, that sounds ominous, but kinda cool. Okay, so things are intense right now. This dude, straight up, is getting absolutely cornered, yelling at whoever's got him pinned. They're in Seoul, near Dongdaemun Station, and it's a full-on chase scene in the pouring rain, no less. Someone is apologizing, but it's way too late. Hwon nearly killed this guy. It's a mess. Apparently, this guy's friend messed up big time, and they're trying to smooth things over with whoever is in charge. This rich guy is not happy, demanding an apology, and honestly, this dude had it coming. But wait, if they were a little later, Hwon would have finished the job. Talk about a close call. They're forcing another guy to apologize, but he's silent, and things are getting super awkward real quick. Then, the system just flat out refuses to show a profile for this guy. It's blocked. What is even going on? Finally, the guy breaks and apologizes, and honestly, it's about time. It's all damage control at this point. The system still won't show the profile, which is seriously creepy, but the tension is definitely easing. For now. Wait, hold up. Someone else is a prophet too. Our boy is losing it, realizing the danger is escalating. Hwon is straight up furious, demanding to know why this other guy is wandering around when she told him to stay put. This other dude recognizes the name Yoo Jun-jiok and instantly panics, yelling for Hwon. He's getting absolutely wrecked, pinned down and apologizing profusely. Talk about a power imbalance. They're trying to figure out if Mr. Yu refers to the Yoo Jung-geok and Hwon confirms it another prophet. No way. The guy keeps apologizing, but it's clear he's terrified, and honestly, he should be. Seongguk gets a private message from Yu, demanding to talk, and the tone is icy. Seongguk's clearly stressed, but he assures Yu he won't be kept waiting. This is getting intense. Yu's just standing there, stoic as ever, observing everything. This dude is playing a long game. But wait, you just spent 2,000 coins on enhanced hearing? He's about to level up his eavesdropping skills. Okay, so Yu is laying down the law, telling Seongguk he's only the 9th, like that even matters. Yu drops a bomb. He remembers everything, thanks to a memory enhancement skill. And Seongguk would be dead without him. Seongguk and another guy are whispering, realizing something seriously off with Yu's whole vibe. This dude is questioning if Yu is even good looking, claiming the author said so, but Seongguk is not having it. Seongguk straight up says he doesn't think Yu is attractive, and then immediately regrets it. Ouch! Seongguk and the other guy notice a woman in the background and wonder who she is, which is a good call. Seongguk recalls she wasn't supposed to be there in Yoo Jun-jiok's third regression. Major red flag. They're debating whether to test Yu, and honestly, it's about time someone gets suspicious. Seongguk is already scheming, and Yu's just standing there observing. This dude is a master manipulator. Something's definitely not right, and Seongguk knows it, but Yu is playing it cool as ever. Min Seop-jung introduces himself as the 189th renouncer, and things are getting wild. He claims only around 48 of them exist, but the first episode of the web novel had 200 views. That's a lot. Yu asks if they all died, even knowing the future, which is a seriously heavy question right now. Min Seop-jung asks Yu if he'll share what he knows, but then immediately wants to ask a few questions himself. A woman appears, and Seongguk immediately notices she's different from the one he remembers. Uh-oh. Seongguk remembers this woman wasn't with Yu in his third regression, and he's starting to connect the dots. Seongguk points out Yu had this woman with him instead of Namwoon Kim, and Yu is looking pretty uncomfortable. Yu says he thought she was Ji-Hai Lee, but she seems older and goes by a different name. Major inconsistencies. Min Seop-jung drops a bombshell. The delusional demon doesn't exist in this current regression, and Seongguk is losing it. Seongguk is officially suspicious, and Yu is just standing there, observing everything. This dude is a pro. Yu casually reveals someone is impersonating him, straight up stealing his identity. Seongguk is losing his mind, realizing this regression is different than the others. Yu drops another bomb. He beat the impersonator to a pulp last time they met, but he's still around. He claims the guy's lurking around Chungmoro, and Seongguk is desperately trying to piece things together. Min Seobjung then asks if Yu knows who killed the delusional demon. Talk about a loaded question. Seongguk demands to know if Yu actually knows this guy, and things get super tense. Yu confirms he does, and it's clear Seongguk is now fully convinced something is off with our boy. Seongguk asks if Yu might know the man, while Min Seob asks about the delusional demon, and Yu just stares. Yu's face is all intense, and he's clearly hiding something. This dude is a master of deception. Yu's just observing the chaos, but his expression is saying, I know more than you think, and it's chilling. They finally find some individual rooms. Apparently, the organization is way bigger than they thought. Yu activates the special ability of his navy flag, spending 500 coins, and suddenly, they've got a group chat going. It's kinda random, but super useful for coordinating. Yu reveals he acquired the navy flag by getting Dongdaemun in Cheonggu. Talk about a power move. He's currently claiming ownership of 4 stations, but Changsan Station is still out of reach. Yu admits he thought he had control over Changsan, but he was totally wrong. A frustrating setback. However, Yu's focusing on the impersonator, and straight up knows everything about their movements. He's clearly playing a long game, observing Seongguk and Min Seo while hiding crucial info. Yu's face is unreadable, but you can tell he's thinking 10 steps ahead. This dude is a mastermind, and honestly, this entire situation is getting way more complicated, and we're here for the chaos. Okay, so someone points out 12 views on the 50th episode of TWSA, and Yu's brain immediately connects dots. Turns out, there are 11 known disciples, and everyone is trying to figure out who the 12th is. No way. They think Yu crossed paths with the last unknown disciple, and honestly, the tension is building fast. But unlike them, this other group is actively trying to take control, which is seriously bad news for our boy. Okay, so this dude is haggling for a hermit cloak. Apparently it's super rare and costs 3,000 coins. He actually gets it, but then immediately wants the Hermit King of the Shadows, spending another 3,000 coins. He's admitting he might regret dropping 6,000 coins, but the power is worth it, apparently. Another guy shows up, claiming he's not there to take the cloak, which is already a red flag. This dude straight up asks if they can be friends, and our boy is giving him the side eye. Major trust issues here. He's reaching out his hand, but the other guy is definitely hiding something. Look at that intense stare! We get a close-up of the other guy's gear, and it's all tactical and kinda intimidating, no cap. They're at Dongdaemun Station, and the other guy says it's hard to talk in person, which is convenient. Our boy's already sensing something is off, but he's playing it cool, trying to figure out this guy's game. However, the other guy is acting way too friendly, and our boy is starting to suspect a trap, and he's probably right. Okay, so the friendly guy suddenly zaps our boy's phone with some weird energy. No way, it's an OW Internet LV5 attack on his smartphone, whatever that is. The whole area is sparking with blue electricity, and our boy is clearly shocked, literally. A message pops up saying he can access the internet anywhere in the Seoul Dome as long as Dong-hoon Han is conscious. So, this Dong-hoon Han is the source of the internet. That's a weird power, bro. The other guy is now asking who he is, and our boy is starting to connect the dots. This is a setup. He's staring right into the other guy's eyes, and honestly, he looks totally freaked out. But the other guy, he's just smirking. This dude is playing some kind of game. Our boy's phone is buzzing with activity, and he's realizing the internet access isn't a gift, it's a trap. He's starting to suspect this whole friendly encounter was just to get him online, and honestly, it totally was. So, the other guy's buddy is down for the count, and they're trash-talking our boy, but he's totally unfazed. This dude's claiming our boy glared at him with the eye of the sage, and nearly gave him a heart attack, which is a choice. A text message arrives, I've been looking for you, and Dong-hoon Han replies, that's what Seongguk said as well. Dong-hoon Han is now sending texts like he's psychic, saying our boy must be scared and confused, but our boy just replies as if, smooth. More texts. Dong-hoon Han is straight up asking if he despises the prophets, which is a super weird question. The buddy on the floor is ranting about how nobody believes their story, and wants to go to Chungmoro to check things out. Our boy's buddy is lounging around like it's a spa day while the other guy checks his phone. Total power move. The other guy's looking at his phone, and our boy's buddy is asking what he's up to. It's a trap. It's a trap. He claims he's just checking the news, But our boy's buddy is definitely suspicious, and honestly, he should be. The other guy casually says he's receiving a call, but our boy is realizing something is seriously wrong. This is escalating fast. Donghoon Han's laying it all out. He wants our boy to just stop doing anything, like immediately. He sends a text saying he wants him, then clarifies he wants our boy to do nothing from now on. Creepy! Our boy's buddy tries to check the internet, but it's totally unstable, which is super convenient, right? The other guy drops a sword, and his buddy is losing it, yelling what a bother. Like, seriously? This dude is staring at the sword, looking intense, while his buddy is panicking. Something is definitely up. Our boy's buddy suddenly rips open some kind of barrier. It's glowing and crackling with energy. He's powering up whatever's behind that barrier, and it looks straight up dangerous, but he's totally focused. The other guy's freaking out, grabbing his head, while his buddy is just casually standing there. His buddy's face is all messed up, like he's in pain, but he's still pushing through. No way. He's fully unleashed whatever power was behind that barrier, and it's radiating outwards. This is getting wild. Things explode into chaos. A whirlwind of attacks comes at our boy and his buddies, but this dude is already deflecting them. He shouts that he's handled a few attackers, but there are way too many, and they won't hold out for long. Jung Jio-kyu confidently declares they can't take on everyone. Even he can't. Talk about overconfidence? Suddenly, a guy in a hoodie gets slammed into the wall, and another dude is knocked to the ground. It's getting brutal. Our boy jumps into the fray, unleashing a flurry of blows, and one guy goes flying. This is awesome. He's moving so fast, it's a blur of motion, and another opponent is sent crashing. Seriously, is he even human? One of the attackers shouts something about a flag, and our boy's buddy points out nobody's that dumb to display it openly. However, there eshes a flag, a blue banner with white lettering, and it's right there in the middle of the fight. Our boy's buddy is getting tossed around like a rag doll, and this dude is straight up getting pummeled. But wait, our boy's buddy is actually smiling through the pain, and it's unsettling, to say the least. They reveal Donghoon was being hypnotized and exploited. Talk about messed up! But seeing Seongguk wasn't the leader throws everyone for a loop, and there's only one answer. Suddenly, a guy pulls out a blade, aiming for Seongguk, but someone intercepts with a crazy fast move. The attacker's weapon gets deflected, and a blue flag on his uniform glows. What is going on? A message pops up saying the flag evolved from navy to brown, and it's apparently providing protection. Mr. Yu is losing it, worried about the other prophets finding out about all this. But his crew points out they have no internet access. That's a problem, honestly. Our boy straight up says he won't bother explaining, and the look on his face is pure sass. He declares that even if he was the real Jung Jio-kyu, he'd never team up with these people. And the look of betrayal on their faces, priceless. This dude is not messing around. Okay, so Dokja wakes up after a solid night's sleep. Finally, he admits he was super tired, but now feels fully recovered. He reveals he spent last night planting his flag around stations near Dongmyo, making a power move while everyone else slept. We get a map showing all 9 stations he currently controls. This dude is building an empire, no cap. His companions are shocked he was out doing that after everything that happened. He's a machine, honestly. Dokja gets up, and they start discussing the target station, which is apparently Changsan, the next place to hit. Suddenly, a woman appears looking worried and asks where someone named Jiwon is. Things are getting messy. Dokja and the others exchange glances, realizing this Jiwon is likely connected to the constellations and the ongoing chaos. The woman frantically asks if they've seen Jiwon, and her desperation is kinda creepy. Something's definitely off. Dokja calmly tells her they haven't, but we all know he's hiding something. This dude is a master of deception. Okay, so things are tense. They're at Angik Station, a major hub, and our boy Dokja knows it's a trap. Dokja's mumbling about a pact the prophets made, and how this station is like a DMZ, neutral ground, but it's still dangerous. He warns everyone not to head toward Dobong-gu, saying it's a bad idea, but honestly no one listens to the guy. Someone 1089th is immediately hyped to see Dokja, and then 763rd joins in. It's a chaotic reunion, bro. But wait, the energy shifts, and everyone's looking at someone behind Dokja. What's going on? Someone asks if he could be, and you can just feel the tension building. Like, what does that even mean? Dokja straight up tells them he told them not to go to Dobong-gu, and now they're gonna pay the price. He shakes hands with 1089th, but that feels off, like a final goodbye or something. No way. And then 1089th glances off to the side like he sees something terrible. It's super creepy. Someone whispers, "Could he be?" And honestly, that's all the confirmation we need. Something bad is about to happen. Okay, so everyone's losing it. They recognize this dude as Jung Yoyak-yu, a total legend from the story. People are shouting how honored they are to meet him, and honestly, it's a bit much. But then someone murmurs, "Is he really?" And the mood flips on a dime. They're all realizing he's way more handsome than they imagined, which is weirdly important right now. The crowd starts blurting out their rankings, 998th, 1050 feet, that's a total mess of numbers. Someone yells they're the fun 168th reader, and another comments he must have read almost 50 episodes. Dokja's trying to stay calm, but he knows this is a flashback, a revelation from the story. He reveals he warned them not to come to Dobong-gu, and now they're about to see why. But hold up, Dokja's remembering how you fought Asmodeus in the second regression, and it wasn't pretty. Dokja's thinking, it's not like I'm a king or anything, but straight up, this dude is a big deal. Dokja realizes Yu Jung-yoyak was seeking fame and feels bad he's so down on himself. Yu asks why he's the only one not famous, and Dokja's internal monologue goes, "Boiled, is this the night of the prophets?" The crowd is buzzing, murmuring, and straight up losing their minds as they recognize Yu. It's chaos! Someone shouts about a weapon, and everyone whips around, totally confused. What's going on? Yu demands to see the secret weapon Dokja mentioned, and honestly, that's a bold move. Dokja acknowledges the request, but then a massive, jagged rock comes crashing down from the ceiling. The rock plummets, and someone tries to react, but it's happening way too fast. A flash of movement, the rock is heading right for them, and it's a total disaster waiting to happen. The rock impacts and it's a total free for all. People are scrambling for cover. No way anyone's safe. Dokja's standing there, unmoving, as the dust settles. This dude is either incredibly brave or totally resigned. Dokja's reeling. He realizes this meteorite is from the fourth regression, which is insane. He blurts out it's a red meteorite, and everyone's stunned because only someone who's read that far would know. Yu demands to know who told Dokja about the meteorite, and things get tense, fast. Dokja's confused. They've been at this for days, but this doesn't add up at all. He's starting to suspect something major is off, like seriously wrong. Someone reveals the meteorite contains a powerful weapon, which is a little on the nose, honestly. Yu, Soyeon, and Gangwoo assume it holds an artifact of immense value, but Dokja's clearly onto something else. Dokja's face is a mess, and he's questioning everything. This dude is clearly freaking out. He's remembering the shooting star. But something's not right. It doesn't match up with the story. Dokja's internal monologue is screaming, and it's clear this is way bigger than they thought. Everyone's staring at the meteorite, but Dokja's realizing it's not just a weapon, it's something alive. Yu is demanding to know where Dokja got his info, and Sion saying no one who quit early could possibly know this. Dokja's freaking out. He remembers the shooting star being much smaller in the novel. This is a huge problem. He's connecting the dots, realizing this meteorite wasn't supposed to happen until way later in the story. The meteorite starts shifting, cracking, and everyone is losing it. It's clearly hatching, and it's not good. Dokja screams for everyone to run, but they're all frozen, questioning what he even means by that. The meteorite bursts open with a massive crash, sending debris flying everywhere. Total chaos! It's a monstrous, tentacled creature emerging, and honestly, it looks straight up terrifying. Yu's yelling, trying to rally everyone, but it's too late. The creature lashes out with incredible speed. Soyeon gets hit, and it's brutal. This is no longer a story, it's a fight for survival. Everyone's debating who gets to keep whatever emerges from the meteorite. Seriously? Like, are they even focused? The meteorite cracks open further, and Dokja straight up declares this is the kind of thing that shouldn't hatch. No pressure! It's bursting open with a massive sear seeks, and honestly, the sound effects are doing a better job of conveying danger than anyone. The meteorite fully shatters, and the system announces the fifth scenario is starting. Dokja knew this was coming, but still, Yu is losing it, demanding to know what's going on, and why the main scenario is activating so early. Dokja's realizing the situation is spiraling out of control. He's seen this happen in the novel, and it's way worse in person. The others are panicking, questioning what's happening, but Dokja knows this is just the beginning of the chaos. This dude is remembering the novel's details, but the situation is completely different. It's a nightmare unfolding. Dokja's warning them, trying to get everyone to understand the gravity of the situation, but they're not listening. However, the meteorite fully explodes, and our boy knows this isn't just a scenario, it's a straight-up disaster. Okay, so everyone's confused, but Dokja remembers the meteorite in Yu Jungyak's third regression was red, a detail no one else knows. Yu is begging for this not to be a major catastrophe, and honestly, he's about to get his wish, or the opposite. The meteorite's insides are leaking this bright, molten gold stuff. It's seriously unsettling and looks super dangerous. It's all over the place, and someone yells about the artifact, but Dokja's already bracing for the worst. The gold substance just splatters everywhere with a sickening bluck sound. This isn't a scenario, it's a full-blown mess. Okay, so things are insane right now. This dude is yelling about needing a plate, numbers 5, 2, or 3. No clue what that means. But here's the catch, only FUR people can enter whatever's beyond this glowing doorway. Talk about a bottleneck? They're all huddled, trying to figure out who gets to go through, but then, Tier 5 Fire Dragon IGNIR shows up and immediately starts blasting FLM of Destrafdine. No warning, straight up chaos. The dragon's attack is massive, and everyone's scrambling for cover, but honestly, it looks pretty hopeless. Someone shouts, "What do I do?" while another asks if they should sacrifice someone. Seriously? But before anyone can make a terrible decision, the team leader is already ordering them forward, like he has a plan. They're rushing towards the doorway, and it's a close call, dodging fire and debris. This is intense. Someone yells, "This way, sir," as they book it, hoping to escape the dragon's wrath. Our boys got to be thinking fast. They almost make it, but the dragon's still roaring and blasting fire. This situation is about to get even crazier, I can feel it. The team leader activates some kind of shield, an absolute shield, just as the dragon's fire washes over them. Everyone's getting thrown around, but the shield is LDING, deflecting the insane heat and flames. They're still taking a beating though, and the team leader is clearly struggling to maintain the defense. The dragon unleashes another, even BGR blast, and the shield starts to crack under the pressure. It's a full-on explosion of fire and energy, and they're all getting tossed around like rag dolls. But the shield, it doesn't break. It actually seems to ABS orb the attack, converting it into energy. The team leader is battered and bruised, but he manages to stand, breathing heavily. He asks who the other guy is, and this dude, the 16087th, smirks, saying he's been forgotten. The 16087th reveals he asked about this situation earlier, implying he KM this would happen, and honestly, that's a little creepy, but also, maybe exactly what they needed to survive. The 16087th is straight up flexing, reminding everyone he has the Eye of the Sage, whatever that is. Suddenly, a system message pops up. His memories are being altered due to his attribute. No way! He's declared a disciple, and the 16087 starts grinning, revealing a terrifying sharp-toothed smile. This dude claims he's the FFTH disciple, among all the disciples, and it's seriously unsettling. The team leader asks if he's joking, but the 16087th just keeps smirking, raising a hand as if to say, "Trust me." The team leader checks a map, revealing their current location and the target station. They're moving fast. Another system message, the location of the plates is changing in 1 minute. Talk about pressure. The 16087th attacks the team leader with his sword, but our boy somehow anticipates it and blocks. But the 16087th isn't trying to kill him, he's testing him. It's all part of some twisted training. He explains the story of Asmodeus, but it's from episode 57, implying this whole situation is a pre-planned test. Okay, so the 16087th is rambling about the butterfly effect, saying even small changes cause huge problems. A system message drops. They need to find 10 hidden plates and survive 10 attacks to escape this scenario. No pressure! And immediately, a monster roars and attacks? This dude doesn't even let them breathe. The team leader yells at the 16087th to dodge, but honestly it's already looking bad for everyone. The 16087th claims he knew this would happen, saying he's been watching them. Super creepy, right? He's trying to convince them he can save Mr. Jungyeok, but the team leader is not buying it, calling it a lie. But wait, he says it's not entirely a lie. They don't want Mr. Jungyeok to die here, which is odd. The 16087th reveals he only found out about this a few hours ago and had to change his plan. The team leader accuses him of knowing they'd be here all along, and the 16087th just smirks. The monster attacks again, and things are seriously escalating. This whole situation is a mess? Okay, so the dragon, Ignor, just unleashes a massive fire attack, and it's straight up chaos. A system message pops up saying the plates have been renewed, and suddenly, the floor shifts. Someone gets stabbed. No way, this is getting intense, and they're yelling about not wanting to participate. This dude just falls to the ground after getting shanked, and the team leader is like, so cold. The 16087th is monologuing again, saying they don't know what he's about to say next, so dramatic. Ignore unleashes another huge blast, and the system announces it's a Tier 5 fire dragon. Seriously? Someone is getting blasted by a blue barrier, and everyone is yelling woo. Total confusion. A penalty is applied to the hidden piece, and another person gets vaporized by the fire, screaming. The team leader is losing it about the penalty, and honestly, this whole situation is a disaster. But wait, the 16-87th reveals he only found out about this a few hours ago and had to change his plan. Okay, so the team leader learns only a quarter of the profits are left, and they can barely survive. Yikes. This dude asks if they have blue ice pills, and everyone's like, wait, what? Turns out blue ice pills are super rare, made from Tier 7 elementals, and give you ice energy for 30 minutes. He spots 5 people exuding ice energy, and it's clear they must have gotten some pills. Suspicious. Ignir attacks again, and the team leader is nearly hit, but someone deflects it with ice energy. This dude offers blue ice pills to our boy if he helps them, and honestly, it's a shady deal. Our boy asks what happens if he refuses, and the other dude just smirks. Major red flag. He says he doesn't care about his friends, but the smirking dude just laughs, saying he'll think again. The smirking dude claims it's all according to prophecy, and things are getting seriously creepy. But wait, the smirking dude reveals the prophecy said he would help, and this whole situation is wild. Okay, so the smirking dude reveals Naval Commander Jihai Lee is with them, and she has weird powers. Turns out she's one of the 10 evils, and this dude's laying out how strong their team is. Someone's injured and says their team has already conquered 10 stations and finished the scenario. No way. This guy starts unleashing a massive attack, and it's straight up terrifying. Everything's getting destroyed. He declares you need to know the difference between a groups with a king and one seva without. Talk about a power move. But wait, another dude chimes in saying there aren't people as smart as this in TWSA. Our boy asks who their king is and what number renouncer he is, and things are about to go down. He starts dashing forward, and honestly, this dude is moving fast. This dude questions if it's trouble to regress again if his team dies. Cold. He then asks what happens if he loses Chungmoro, and it's clear this is a huge threat. Okay, so this dude is the only one who's read this entire prophecy, like all of it? He takes a step forward, and honestly, it feels like a huge deal. The floor is glowing and everything. He's screaming, absolutely losing it as the fire consumes him. It's brutal, honestly. But hold up. He says burning to death is the MORST, like it actually feels like hell itself. However, his personal skill, the fourth wall, kicks in, partially negating the pain, which is wild. He's gasping for air, realizing the fourth wall is active AGAIN, and it's the only thing keeping him together. Okay, so our boy realizes he needs to get moving. He's got this King of No Killing attribute now. He thinks he's about to return to his body, but then the system message pops up, and it's not good. The King of No Killing is delayed because of a conflicting personal skill. What does that EVN mean? No way. It says his consciousness is freed due to death, and level 3 of Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint activated. This dude starts getting dizzy, things are glitching, and he's totally freaking out. This is getting intense. Suddenly, he's on the ground, splattered with blood. It's a total mess, and he's furious. He's blaming that punk for whatever just happened, and honestly, this dude had it coming. Straight up, it looks like he's landed in some kind of history park, covered in someone else's blood. Okay, so Dokja is totally out cold, snoring on the floor while this guy, a total jerk, just stares down at him. This dude is BURSTing with anger, ranting about having to listen to that brat. But then he starts muttering Dokja's name. He's clearly conflicted, mumbling to himself about something, and it's super unsettling. Dokja is still passed out, looking rough, and this guy is clearly regretting something. Big time. Someone else is demanding to know when he's giving up the land, but he ignores them. Focused on Dokja. He's getting called out for smiling just moments ago, and honestly, the hypocrisy is strong with this one. They're asking how much land he even has, and it turns out he's the only one with the landlord attribute. The conversation shifts to what determines the quality of the land, expensive and desired, apparently. They ask if he had lands like that, and he admits he did, which is a huge reveal. He looks totally shaken admitting it, like this land thing is way more complicated than he let on. Okay, so everyone suddenly starts freaking out. They're seeing stuff happening in Chungmoro, but it's like a replay. This woman thinks they're experiencing level 3 of an Omniscient Reader, Viewpoint, which is honestly kinda creepy. Then, bam, a massive burst of energy explodes, and everyone is thrown back by the force. No way, someone gets blasted backwards with a whoosh sound and looks totally terrified. Everyone is scrambling, asking what's going on, and it's total chaos. They're completely lost. Someone yells for everyone to gather around, hoping to figure out this mess, but it doesn't help much. Murmurs break out as they try to process what just happened, and the tension is building. A monster's figure rushes towards them, and it looks absolutely terrifying. Teeth and everything. Everything explodes in red light as figures start moving fast, but it's all a blur. They realize it's an ambush, and honestly, this whole situation is spiraling out of control. No way. Pildugong Stigma just activates. Level 8, straight up. It's like a power-up, but everyone's confused. A huge turret system materializes, and it's targeting something. Group C is immediately ordered to protect Pildu. Suddenly, a shrieking sound cuts through everything. It's unsettling, and shadowy figures are swarming. These shadowy creatures rush forward, and it's a full-on assault. Everything's happening so fast. Someone gets slammed into something with a massive Yurasech, and they're clearly in serious pain. A huge explosion rocks the area, pew, and debris is flying everywhere. It's total chaos. Someone yells to stop the creatures from advancing, but it feels like a lost cause at this point. More explosions, pew, and people are getting thrown around like rag dolls. It's brutal. Another APO, and a CRH as the battle intensifies, and it's honestly a mess of flying limbs. The fighting is relentless, with explosions and impacts happening non-stop. This is straight up insane. Someone shouts, "We did it!" But it's a grim victory. The battlefield is a total wreck. This dude is realizing these monsters are different, way stronger than anything they've faced before. He says the flute of Hamlin didn't work, which yeah, no kidding, it's clearly not enough. Someone takes a step forward, crunching on debris. The atmosphere is super tense. A group of mysterious figures appear, and they look unimpressed with the carnage. One of them casually walks through the destruction, looking like they own the place. Our boy is seriously freaked out, realizing they're up against a whole new level of enemy. The group confirms it. These monsters are different from anything they've seen. Oh no. Someone yells, "Damn it," and honestly, that pretty much sums up the situation right now. The tension is insane, and you just know things are about to get way worse for our crew. Someone arrives claiming they're already here. Super dramatic timing. Honestly, this dude demands they don't call him a samurai, but gets a dismissive "yeah, whatever" in return. She threatens consequences if they use that term again, and then a foot stomps down menacingly. Our boy pulls out a sword, and the guy in the hat is not impressed, grabbing for it. A bald guy runs in, yelling about who they are, but gets told to shut up immediately. Harsh. He escalates things quickly, threatening to shoot everyone if they messed with dragon hunting. The guy in the hat asks who went dragon hunting, and another voice declares they'll take Ji Hai Lee. Someone scoffs, saying Ji Hai is nothing. Talk about underestimating her, bro. Our boy looks seriously rattled, and honestly, he's right to be. This is getting intense. The guy in the hat orders 5 people to be enough, and says they're wiping everyone out. Chaos erupts as someone gets thrown around. It's a total free for all, bro. Someone shouts to stop them, but it's already too late. Everything's escalating fast. Our boy realizes these guys aren't just causing trouble, they're aiming for world domination. A fight breaks out, and this dude is unleashing some serious power, sending sparks flying. He thinks he can just take over, but our boy assures us things won't be that easy. But seriously, this is getting wild. No way these guys expected that kind of resistance. Okay, so things are bad? Our boy is straight up dying, completely wrecked after that last fight. But wait, he's unlocking level 3 of Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint, finally getting a huge power boost. And it's not just a level up. Conflicting skills are resolving themselves, which is huge for his survival. No way! The King of No Killing ability is back online, meaning he can avoid fatal blows potentially. This is insane. His body is actively being revived from death, regenerating right before our eyes. Body regeneration is commencing, and it's like watching a full-on power-up sequence with sparks flying everywhere. He's pushing his power to the limit, and honestly, the energy radiating off him is wild. Bro is literally rebuilding himself, and the cracks in his body are glowing with golden light. It's intense. He's focusing, eyes snapping open, and you can feel the power surging through him, a total rebirth moment. His eyes are glowing blue, and this dude is back, stronger than ever, ready to face whatever comes next. A moment ago, he was dying, but now he's fully restored and realizing he's in Jungyao Kyu's perspective. He's seeing everything through Yu's eyes. The scene, the people, and it's a totally different angle than before. This dude is moving with unbelievably light and efficient footsteps, like a ghost in the darkness. His hand clenches, and you can see the strain as he focuses all his power into this new perspective. He's tracking someone, moving with purpose and a newfound understanding of the situation. Our boy is getting closer, and it's clear he's hunting someone down, but who? He's following a trail, his footsteps silent and deadly. This is a whole new level of stealth. He's almost upon his target, and the tension is building. This is going to be a confrontation. He's closing in, and you can feel the power radiating off him. This dude means business. He's gripping something, and it looks like he's about to unleash a serious attack. It's about to go down. He's getting a reward. Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint Level 3. No way a resurrection reboot. Everyone's freaking out, yelling Dokja and Mr. Yu. They think he just used a resurrection skill. It's revealed his special ability is resurrection, and he's starting to glow with power. He's back on his feet, but straight up panicking. He might die again right after reviving. He tries to spend his 100 karma points, but there aren't any options with the number 1. Seriously? Hyeon Song is shouting for them to move to the next plate, but everyone's still reeling from the revival. Dokja's still reeling too, but they're moving, following the mysterious plates across the floor. He's realizing this whole situation is messed up, but he's got to push forward, no matter what. And just when you think things can't get more chaotic, someone yells, Dokja! Again! What's happening? This dude is back in the game, determined to survive, and honestly, he's got a long road ahead. Igni, a Tier 5 fire dragon, just unleashed Flame of Destruction. It's a massive attack, straight up. The arena erupts in flames, and Dokja's caught in the blast. It looks brutal, bro. He's using his Flame of Destruction to counter, creating a shield of turquoise energy. Talk about power vs power! Dokja's getting tossed around, but he's holding on, determined to survive this onslaught. Our boy is tough. Hyeon Song is losing it, yelling that he saw things. No way he expected that kind of power. Hyeon Song is still freaking out, claiming he's just a soldier, but he's clearly shaken to his core. Dokja's back is covered in burns, but he's demanding his clothes and items. He's not giving up, even injured. He shouts about his unbreakable faith and flag. This dude is all about that unwavering resolve. Dokja's grabbing for the crown, ignoring the pain. He needs that power up, ASAP. Hyeon Song is still staring, completely speechless. He clearly underestimated Dokja and honestly, serves him right. Dokja thanks Yuan, and she's handing him a coat. He's seriously messed up, but refusing to stay down. Someone else is crumpled on the ground, but Dokja's ignoring them, focused on grabbing those blue pills. Priorities, bro. Huan covers him up, saying she'll get him patched up, while another teammate asks what the plan is now. It's chaos. Dokja's got a chilling look on his face, commenting that everyone's burned to a crisp, leaving the pills behind. Suddenly, a monstrous roar shakes the place, and a massive, shadowy figure appears looking straight at them. Everyone's freaking out, staring at the beast, but Dokja's the only one who seems to know what's coming. He's seen this before. The monster swings and a teammate gets slashed. It's brutal, and she screams, but Dokja's already bracing for the next attack. Huan is seriously hurt, and Dokja's still trying to figure out how to deal with this. This dude is a machine. The monster keeps coming, and the team is panicking, but Dokja's starting to analyze the situation. He's got to find a weakness. Dokja's realizing the monster isn't just a monster. It's a constellation, and a powerful one at that. No way this is good. Dokja somehow manages to snatch the brown flag back. A notification pops up, and it's a win. Suddenly, number plates activate all over the place, and everyone is told to look for them. What's going on? This dude in a robe is getting straight up demolished by the monster's attack. But he's still fighting. Tier 5 Fire Dragon Ignor unleashes a massive flame of destruction. Everyone's scrambling for cover. The flames are everywhere, and everyone's trying to escape, but it's a total inferno. No way out. The dragon's roar is deafening, and it's breathing fire right at them. This is bad, really bad. One of the teammates is seriously injured, but she's pissed. She's calling that monster a bastard. Another teammate asks what they should do, and the situation looks grim. They're completely surrounded. Someone activates the absolute shield, but it's immediately deactivated. That's concerning. Dokja is looking intense, like he's calculating something. Our boy is planning a comeback, you just know it. Okay, so the problem is, can they even kill this monster before the next attack lands? Everyone's yelling to run and grab the blue and white pills scattered on the floor. Apparently, those are key. If they can get those pills, they might actually have a chance, which is a haji if, honestly, someone's using agility to zoom around, trying to collect the pills while dodging fire. It's intense. Dokja spends 400 coins on mana. That's a lot, but he needs the power-up stat. Everything's crashing around them, and one dude is getting absolutely wrecked. Yikes. Dokja is suddenly covered in ice energy, and a notification says he's exuding it. What is happening? He asks if they should all attack together, and the team is starting to get hopeful. Maybe they can pull this off. Now their attacks have an extra 40% ice damage. This is a game changer. Dokja is playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. Okay, so things are INSN right now. Our boy Dokja is going head to head with this monster straight up. This monster is powerful, and Dokja is taking a beating, but he's holding his own with that sword. He's using everything he's got, pushing through the pain, but it's clearly not enough. This fight is brutal. Dokja swings and the monster retaliates with a fiery blast, and honestly, it looks devastating. But Dokja isn't backing down. He's countering with a freezing attack, creating a crazy ice explosion. He's unleashing a flurry of attacks, trying to break through the monster's defenses, but it's barely making a dent. Wait, what? The monster is absorbing all the energy, turning it into power. This is bad, real bad. Dokja's pushing himself to the limit, trying to stop the monster from reaching its target. It's Dongdaemun Station. He's screaming, no way this dude can actually stop it, can he? The monster's power is overwhelming. But Dokja isn't giving up, and he's shouting a defiant no. Bro is seriously risking everything right now. Dokja swings his sword, trying to finish the monster off, but it barely flinches. This thing is a tank. He gasps for air, asking if it's dead, but it's clearly still standing, and it's furious. Dokja tries to brace himself, sword at the ready, but the monster is already moving, way faster than before. No way! The monster smacks Dokja across the face, sending him flying through the air. That looked painful. Dokja crashes to the ground, blood trickling from his mouth, and starts questioning if he's about to die again. He realizes he's not the main character, and that's why he keeps getting wrecked. Talk about a harsh truth. A notification pops up. This monster is a tier 5 fire dragon, and it just unleashed a devastating attack. Dokja's face is a mess, and he wonders what things would be like if he was Jung Yeokyu, the actual protagonist. It hits him he's not the hero of this story, and honestly, that realization is crushing. Okay, so the monster's going for the kill, and Dokja's companion is trying to pull him away. But it's too late. Dokja's getting stabbed, straight up. He's taking the hit for someone else. What a legend. But wait, Dokja's activating his constellation ability. He's using all his points to survive. He's remembering all 10 years he spent reading this trash novel, and it's actually helping him now. Dokja's unleashing a massive attack, a blue energy blast. It's like a desperate, all-or-nothing move. The energy is colliding with the monster's fire, creating a crazy explosion. This is getting intense. He's powering through the pain, determined to win. Our boy is refusing to go down without a fight. Dokja's attack is actually pushing back the monster. It's taking damage, can you believe it? The monster's roaring, trying to regain control, but Dokja keeps pushing. He's relentless. He's screaming Stieb as he strikes again, and honestly, this monster deserves everything coming to it. Dokja's attack lands. The monster's armor is cracking under the force. It's awesome. The monster roars in pain, but it's not enough. Dokja keeps hammering away at its defenses. He's landing blow after blow, and the monster's getting visibly weaker, but it's still dangerous. Dokja shouts he won't die this early, and straight up, that's the energy we need right now. He's got first blood on this lesser dragon, Ignor. The system's recognizing his accomplishment. But the monster isn't going down easily. It's still fighting back with fire and claws. Dokja's breathing hard, exhausted, but he's refusing to yield. This dude is a tank. Suddenly, Baram, the head of the cell branch, is frowning. He's reading something intense. He's reviewing the plausibility of Dokja's actions. Like, what is even happening right now? Baram is totally shocked, and honestly, we're right there with him. This is wild. Okay, so everyone's questioning why Jung Yeokyu is meddling, saying he should worry about Japan. Turns out the competition among low-ranking Dokkaebi is fiercey, and they're analyzing Yu's abilities. The data reveals Yu is skills way above his level, and get this, a censored information? No way! But the higher-ups give the green light. They're letting Yu do his thing, even with the mysterious stuff. Dokja's swinging his sword, and the monster's armor is shattering. It's a full-on assault. He's slicing through everything, but the monster is still fighting back with claws and fire. It's intense. Dokja's exhausted but pushing through. He refuses to fall this early, and honestly, good for him. Suddenly, Dokja's memories are elaborating. Apparently his attribute is unlocking forgotten scenes. He remembers a line from Yu's 6th regression. a crucial detail, and questions if he's truly remembering it. Dokja gets a message saying his reward is delayed, and he's immediately suspicious. Like, of course it is. He realizes he's about to be in a similar situation to the monster he just fought, holding a Tier 5 fire dragon nucleus. Suddenly, a low-level Dokja slaps the nucleus right out of his hands. What even is happening? Yu is down and Soyeon and Hee-won are losing it, yelling at him for being reckless and risking his life. Dokja insists he can revive, but Soyeon points out that's not always the case. Ouch, a little harsh. The constellations are going wild, impressed by Dokja's moves. Secretive Plotter is especially interested in his tactic. Constellations are praising his bravery, but one constellation pities his skinny body. Rude. Apparently, many constellations are impressed with everything, and Dokja whispers that he knew this was coming. He receives 20,000 coins, but Soyeon is still furious, yelling at him for almost getting himself killed. Dokja brushes it off, saying he came back to life anyway. And honestly, that's his whole vibe at this point. Dokja lays out his resurrection ability. He comes back every time he saves someone, which is a lot. Straight up overpowered, right? He's admitting they're low on useful items, but then offers to handle everything, reassuring Soyeon and Hee-won. This dude, Jang Hee-won, is losing it, claiming everything feels like a fantasy novel, and everyone flinches at his outburst. Yu Jung-hyuk is glaring at them to shut up, but Dokja tries to smooth things over, saying everyone's safe. Jung-hyuk questions why Dokja's suddenly being so nice. It's super sus, and he's not buying it. Dokja claims he's always been like this, but the others aren't convinced, especially since he's lost most of his items. He's trying to download a file from the author, but it's glitching, and he wonders if it's been deleted. The phone syncs asking if he wants to proceed, but then something's definitely off. Dokja's phone is syncing with a new device, but something's wrong with the profile. This is getting intense. He clicks ice to proceed, but there's a glitch. No way this is a good sign, right? The download completes. A file called 3 Ways to Survive the Apocalypse. No way, this is huge! Dokja realizes this file can't be deleted, not even by the Dokja or constellations. It's protected somehow. He wonders if the renouncers know about this file, and straight up, that feels like a bad sign. Okay, so things are intense. We find out this dude is straight up an author, a rare job class in this world. Apparently, authors can use this crazy avatar skill, and it's starting to click why our boy has been pulling off miracles. Someone recognizes the power and starts questioning if he is an author, realizing his feats make total sense now. They're asking him point blank if he's an author, and he looks totally caught off guard. Like, wait, how'd you know? Flashback time. We see him roughed up, looking a mess, clearly having a bad day before all this power-up stuff. But he's got this determined look, like he's ready to face whatever's coming next, even covered in grime. Okay, so he's on the subway trying to get to Changsan Station. It's a crucial location, apparently. However, someone else on the train is looking at him, and they're convinced this isn't the real him. Super creepy vibes. This person is dead certain something's off, and honestly, it's making us question things too, bro. They declare what they're seeing isn't the real him, which means things are about to get wild, and our boy is in danger. He straight up confirms it. He wrote the entire revelation. No way, this is huge. The guy in black is totally thrown, questioning what our boy even means by that. But it gets weirder. The man in black thinks he's talking about someone possessing the revelation, not writing it. Our boy smirks knowing exactly what's up, and this other dude realizes he messed up. Suddenly, a notification dings, confirming that what Kim Dokja said is actually Tiru. The man in black is losing it, demanding to know how he could have the file. He's completely shocked, and honestly, we're right there with him, bro. The man in black can't believe it, and his face is saying it all, utter disbelief. But our boy is cool as a cucumber, ready to lay it all out for him. However, the man in black's grin is kind of terrifying, hinting he has plans of his own. This dude is refusing to believe it. He can't wrap his head around the idea of someone knowing his plan. Our boy calmly asks what revelation he's talking about, playing it cool and asking for more clues. But then this dude drops a bomb. He claims it's an epic tale foretelling the future, and asks if our boy already knew. He's all teeth and menace, revealing fangs, and it's seriously unsettling, bro. Suddenly, a system notification confirms Kim Dokja's statement is partially true and the man in black is losing it. He demands to know how our boy found out about his plan, turning the tables completely. This dude asks if our boy is a prophet, but gets a super vague "oh" in return. So mysterious. The man in black starts cackling, calling himself the creator, and insisting our boy isn't the author. He's straight up saying the author of the novel wouldn't recognize him, because he's just a reader. It's a mind trip. We get a glimpse of an email announcing the web novel will become paid content, and our boy drops a final clue he thought another woman was the last disciple. Our boy claims this isn't his real body and he just got lucky, a total deflection tactic. He straight up says he knows the future, and this dude is not buying it for a second. But our boy is already ahead, realizing Jung-hyuk is watching his every move. Classic power play. The man in black is furious, insisting no one can know more than him. The audacity. Wait, are you kidding me? This dude thinks our boy is the author? It's a huge misunderstanding. He's starting to piece things together, realizing our boy knows about the unpublished files. It's clicking. No way. He's accusing our boy of plagiarism, thinking he stole the web novel. The nerve of this guy. And then bam, we see the man in black collapsed, blood pooling around him. A shocking turn. He's babbling about the perfect sense it makes, now realizing our boy had the files all along. This dude is really upset, and honestly, it's kinda satisfying to watch him unravel. The man in black is losing it, accusing our boy of leeching off others' success. The audacity is unreal. He's ranting about the real creator, and how our boy is exploiting them. But it's quickly becoming clear this dude is delusional. Our boy calmly drops the bomb. He knows the entire revelation, like everything, and can lead them to the end. But the man in black isn't backing down, insisting our boy can't beat the 40 scenario alone. Our boy brushes it off, claiming he's heard it all before. He's playing it cool, but the tension is thick. Suddenly, the man in black lunges, a blade flashing towards our boy. No hesitation, straight for the kill. But our boy is faster, dodging the attack with ease and sending the man reeling back. Smooth moves. He delivers a brutal counterattack, sending the man crashing into a pile of debris. And honestly, this dude had it coming. The man in black is down, clutching his side, and looks absolutely wrecked. A shocking display of power. Our boy stands over him, unfazed, and it's clear he's completely in control of this situation. What a boss. Our boy activates Eye of the Sage, level 8, and then, boom. Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint level 2 goes live. He's scanning the scene, trying to figure out what's happening, but the power's too much. He's already hitting fatigue. No way. He can't use Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint right now. That's a huge problem. The hooded figure is shouting, demanding our boy be killed, claiming he's an imposter who messed with the future. Our boy fires back, saying he's different, but the hooded figure isn't listening for a second. The hooded figure tries to recruit him, even offering a contract, promising loyalty. Talk about a twist. The man in black steps forward, declaring one calls himself a prophet while the other a revealer. It's getting intense. But before anything else can happen, another figure rushes in, yelling to kill our boys now. Total chaos. Our boy looks up shocked, and the tension is peaking. What is going on with all these people? Straight up, this situation is spiraling out of control. Everyone wants our boy dead or on their side. Someone just tries to stomp our boy's foot, like seriously. But he blocks with his boot. The hooded figure whips out a massive blade, and it's heading straight for someone. No hesitation. The man in black dives in front of the attack, taking the hit, and bro is sliced. The hooded figure's got a crazy look on his face, totally unhinged. This is getting wild. People are screaming, demanding to know if our boy will kill the man in black right now. The pressure is insane. Our boy declares if they really knew the future, they'd know what he's about to do. A total power move. The hooded figure attacks again, swinging that massive blade, but this dude is fast. Our boy sidesteps, and the blade just sinks into the floor. The force is unreal. Someone yells that he's all talk, but then FARACK. The floor gives way under our boy's boot. Everyone's shocked, and someone shouts that he was all talk, but it's clear our boy is still in control. Our boy just kicks the floor, and it explodes upwards, sending debris everywhere. Total chaos. He's using the cracks to his advantage, straight up manipulating the battlefield. And honestly, it's awesome. Okay, so things are INTNS. They're planning to copy the text from this super powerful regressor novel. But it's not just copying, they're gonna spread it all over Chungmoro, like a viral campaign. This dude is ordering Peldu to hand over his laptop, and he's got a serious look on his face. Everyone's panicking because they can't remember what happens in the original novel, which is kinda a problem. But our boy steps in, straight up telling them why bother remembering a PHRE story? They know the real story. He's got a plan, and it involves using the original story to predict the moves of the fake author. And honestly, he's zeroing in on the Tyrant King, the one exploiting the profits for his own gain. This dude wants to monopolize all the intel, while another wants to just learn more. It's a power play. The tension is building, and it looks like it's about to be a showdown between these two. No way! It's a battle for information, and our boy's right in the middle of it all. Okay, so our boy is typing like a madman, laying out a plan to lure the fake author and the tyrant king. He's laying out the bait, items that will totally grab their attention, and honestly, it's kinda genius. He explains they've been testing the waters, spreading the idea that this world is a novel to see who reacts. But people aren't getting it, and it's frustrating them. They're treating everyone like NPCs in a video game. Our boy thinks they'll realize this world is a novel soon enough, and it'll be a total shock to people like Hyun-song and Jai. Seongguk interrupts, saying they don't need to worry about it, but the others are totally confused. He's explaining that they're targeting Changsan Station, and it's a key location on the subway map. The typing continues, clack clack clack, as he sets the trap. This dude is a machine. However, Seongguk seems to know more than he's letting on, and the whole situation feels off. They're confident the others won't understand, and honestly, it's a little unsettling how calm they are. Okay, so Dokja just got a system update and now he can see character info? No way! He's checking out Min Seok-jung's stats, and this dude is a berserker with some serious potential, but also a bit of a mess. Dokja realizes the update lets him see if people are real, or just characters in the story. He asks Seongguk and Jai what the difference is between the characters in the story and them. It's a super creepy question. Seongguk and Jai are seriously confused, but Dokja explains that with time, everyone will become characters. He thinks that's why it's called a revelation. It's like everyone is slowly realizing they're in a novel. But Seongguk is acting way too calm, and Dokja is starting to suspect he knows something he isn't letting on. Jai activates her character profile skill. It's happening, people are getting stat screens. She asks what's going on, and honestly, the tension is through the roof right now. Dokja is straight up terrified of what this means. But he's gotta play it cool and figure out what Seongguk is hiding. Dokja's laying down the law. He needs the revelation leaped stat and is not happy. Seongguk is all it's handled, while looking ridiculously smug and honestly, suspicious. Seongguk orders Min Seob and Ilhan to spread the rumor, and Ilhan is immediately on board. Ilhan Kang is revealed as a rumor expert, level 2 weapons proficiency, level 3 speech, and a knack for gossip. The system's brutal evaluation says Ilhan's potential is stunted, but still useful as a pawn. Ouch. Ilhan is completely subservient to Dokja's will, which is a little terrifying if you ask me. Dokja's playing puppet master and Ilhan is as loving it. This is getting wild. The system announces they have only 44 hours left until the scenario ends. The pressure is on. Seongguk gives the order to take over Changsan Station within 40 hours, or the group is doomed. Everyone looks stressed, and we're left wondering what Seongguk really knows, because something's definitely up. Okay, so Dokja's laying out the options. Kill the guy or become his concubine, no thanks, right? But there's a problem, this dude has major constellation support, making a direct attack super risky. Dokja reveals they have 2 paths forward, pointing to the subway map, and things are getting intense. He's heading towards Gwanghwamun first, but the others question why they're not fighting the enemy directly. Suddenly a bunch of system notifications pop up. Dokja's auction items are selling like crazy. Everyone's asking what's going on, and honestly, it's a little chaotic with all those blue boxes. We get a glimpse of a shadowy figure handing something to someone, and it's definitely suspicious. Donghoon texts Dokja, thanking him for the help, and Dokja's getting a system message. Donghoon is starting to trust him. The constellations are hyped, and the chat filters are lifting. This dude is pulling off some serious moves. Dokja's looking confident, almost smug, and you just know he's got a plan brewing. Okay, so Dokja's basically offering intel in exchange for payment, straight up blackmailing them. He receives 16,000 coins twice over, and it's a huge payout. This dude is raking it in. Someone points out the leader looks way too relaxed for a guy surrounded by blood and enemies. Dokja smirks, and honestly, it's a little unsettling. He's enjoying this way too much. He casually drops that a good nap is more important than anything, while people are literally dying around him. The leader collapses and everyone's freaking out. What is going on with him? We see the leader fully down, and it's a total mess, blood everywhere, chaos unfolding. Suddenly, a system message, level 3 of Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint is activated. But here's the kicker, he can now see things from the reader's perspective. No way. Dokja's unlocking level 2? He can read Jung Yoyok's thoughts like he did with Nam Wen. No way! He's aiming for level 3 and it's wild he can now experience exactly what other characters feel. Suddenly, Dokja's surrounded by shadowy figures. It's a full-on ambush and it looks intense. He's experiencing the pain and fear of the man being held, and it's clearly messing with him. Dokja straight up declares he'll kill whoever is causing this. Our boy is not playing around. Ms. Yu is leaving and everyone's giving her a huge send-off, farewell and take care vibes all around. The team's sending her off with cheers, but our boy is already talking about splitting into groups for Guanwaimen. Everyone's hyping up Ms. Yu, saying she's become super popular so quickly and honestly, she deserves it. Someone's clearly got a crush, they're totally admiring Ms. Yu, and it's kinda cute, not gonna lie. Ms. Yu's getting emotional and we see a tear slip. She's a total pro, but even she's feeling the pressure. This dude is trying to join the team, but he's worried he won't be as helpful as the others. They explain they've already divided into teams before heading to Guanwaimen, prepping for whatever's coming. Another guy is complaining about being worked to the bone. Seriously, someone needs a break. Ms. Yu's running full speed, a sword in hand, straight into action. She's not messing around. She's determined to take care of things herself. But it looks like things are about to get intense. Ms. Yu's straight up recruiting our boy for a mission, saying he can do something the others can't. Turns out she needs his Korean history certificate. No way. What does history have to do with this? She's rambling about relics being similar to something called Guanwaimen, and suddenly reveals a magical bracelet. This bracelet enhances mana recovery, but Ms. Yu thinks more relics with constellation powers are out there. Her mission? Find those relics and she's tasking our boy with it. Talk about a sudden job offer. Wait, hold up, why is she running around in her underwear? Everyone is questioning this choice. They're all realizing they're outnumbered and need to gather more allies before facing the Tyrant King. Apparently, the latter half of this scenario is a proxy war between high constellations. Things are escalating fast. Ms. Yu remembers a place that might help, but our boy is still focused on the pantless situation. Priorities, dude. She's not even sure if her memory is correct, but she's determined to jog it. Hopefully, before someone calls the fashion police. Okay, so even though the guy isn't Korean, everyone's realizing he's key to finding something important. Wait, is this a shrine? Straight up in the middle of the city. This is getting weird. Everyone's shocked. It's a shrine dedicated to one of China's greatest generals. Apparently, they rush inside, and the toxic fumes are gone. Ms. Yu thinks it was just the second scenario. Now they're debating what to do next, but our boy thinks the monk's power won't work here. He's fiddling with some kind of white paste, but it's making a creepy shadow on the wall. What is that? Ms. Yu's explaining they need to find a way to stop the Tyrant King, and this is a proxy war between constellations. She's still trying to remember something, but honestly, she's a bit of a mess right now. Our boy is skeptical about the monk's powers, but Ms. Yu is determined to make it work. This dude is holding the paste up to the light. It looks like he's about to do something crazy. Okay, so the shrine is abandoned, but suddenly a notification pops up. A constellation is happy they visited. This Lord of the Beautiful Beards straight up blesses our boy, boosting his stamina and strength by 5. Everyone's hyped, especially the little kid, but Ms. Yu thinks they won't find anything useful here. The kid shouts they're totally lucky, and the camera pans up to show a massive statue of Guan Yu. Turns out, this shrine honors Guan Yu, a legendary general from ancient China. No big deal, right? Our boy points out it's weird to have a Chinese shrine in Seoul, but Ms. Yu mentions a similar one for a Korean admiral in Japan. She thinks this is a good start, but doesn't expect to find any powerful items. She's usually right, honestly. They're hoping for Guan Yu's crescent blade, but then our boy starts messing with that weird white paste again. He's holding it up to the light, and it's starting to shriek. What is happening? No way, the paste is reforming into a black blade, and everyone's calling out, Dokja! Okay, so Dokja's got this black blade, and a whole army of Guan Yu's warriors just appear, straight up marching toward them. The army starts stepping, and it's super ominous. Step, step, echoing with every stride, and everyone's freaking out. The leader of the army, this long-haired dude, shouts about who dares block the king's path, and it's clear they're not here to chat. Everyone's panicking, but our boy is surprisingly calm. He knew this was coming, remember? The army moves faster, and the scene cuts to a close-up of the leader, who looks absolutely furious. The warriors are closing in, spears raised, and it's a total siege. This is intense. But wait, the army suddenly stops. They're staring at something, and it's Dokja. Turns out the black blade Dokja made is the key. It's Guan Yu's crescent blade, but incomplete. The leader is shocked, yelling about how a human possesses a fragment of the blade, and honestly, this dude is pissed. The leader demands to know how Dokja got the blade, and our boy just smirks. He's got all the answers, as usual. Okay, so the army leader is laying into Dokja, demanding to know where he got the blade. It's getting heated. Suddenly, a woman in red appears and everyone gasps. Apparently she's Jiwon-min, a huge name. She asks if he's a king too, and the army leader's face is priceless. Honestly, total confusion. The crowd murmurs about Jiwon-min, and it's clear she's a big deal, someone they all recognize. Jiwon-min starts speaking, and everyone's shocked. She reveals she also goes by Jiwon-min. But here's the kicker, she's connected to the mysterious figure from earlier, and someone realizes he's a hypnotist. This dude, the hypnotist, is losing it, asking what's going on, while Dokja just stands there, totally unfazed. Jiwon-min finishes her sentence, and everyone realizes she's talking about Dokja. Could it be true? The army leader is furious, but Jiwon-min just smirks. She's clearly playing a long game here. She drops a bomb. Dokja's also known as Jiwon-min. What? This is getting wild. Jiwon-min is straight up shocked. She's realizing Dokja is the king of beauty from the novel. The army leader is confused, asking if Dokja is here to fulfill Scylla's wish. What even is Scylla's wish? Turns out the constellations and their incarnations get super connected, to the point where the constellations can force their desires onto people. But here's the scary part, if things go wrong, the incarnation can die from the constellation's will. No way! If the story follows the novel, Seoul is about to be split into 3 warring districts: Songdong-gu, Yongsan-gu, and Yeongdongpo-gu. Jiwon-min explains this is all happening because of the novel's plot, and it's a disaster waiting to happen. The army leader tries to calm everyone down, but it's too late. Panic is setting in. Dokja, meanwhile, is just standing there totally unfazed. This dude is a stone-cold mastermind. However, the army leader is not buying it. He's suspicious of Dokja's calm demeanor, and honestly, he should be. But Jiwon-min interrupts, revealing Dokja's supporting constellation is Lady of the Sleeping Brocade. This is getting intense. Jiwon-min explains Lady of the Sleeping Brocade is a constellation who grants beauty, and Dokja is her favorite incarnation. But it's a twisted favor, because she wants him to be beautiful, like obsessively. Okay, so all the renouncers, people who finished reading this trash novel, straight up know the future now. Wild. They're getting info on how to survive the apocalypse from the novel. 3 ways to survive. It's a lot. But here's the twist, Songguk only read the early chapters, and our boy is realizing that the story is changing. The scenario has moved past what Seongguk knows, and when that happens to a renouncer, they apparently become characters? No way. Everyone's starting to wonder if they'll turn into the characters from the novel, and our boy is definitely thinking about it. He's hoping he can become someone powerful, and a system notification immediately pops up, giving him hope. But it's not a power-up, it's Jiwon-min is slightly attracted to him. Seriously? He's reading the notification, completely shocked, and honestly, this is a terrible time for romance. And just to drive it home, another system message confirms that Jiwon-min is, in fact, slightly attracted to him. What? Okay, so apparently, back in his 11th regression, Kashibok grabbed Jiwon by the collar when they first met. A total power move. Throughout that regression, Jiwon was completely obsessed with Kashibok. This dude is a magnet for trouble, honestly. Kashibok laughs it off, saying no way, but the vibe is shifting. He's clearly playing with fire here. Dokja insists he didn't do anything to Jiwon, but she's staring at him with a weird intensity. He's getting a bad feeling, and he's chilled. They're with some other people in traditional robes, and Jiwon's totally the center of attention. Kashibok is definitely aware. Close up on Jiwon, and she looks dangerous. That gaze is piercing, and the detail on her outfit is wild. We get a map of the subway system, showing their current location near Gwangweiman and the target station, Changsin. It's a chase. Another map pops up, showing their home base, station near Chungmoro. They're planning something big, and it's complicated. They're outside the National Palace Museum of Korea. It's a beautiful location, but I doubt they're there for the art. So, the scenario is moving forward, and it's starting to mess with Seongguk's knowledge. This is getting intense. This sword is straight up radiating power, and they believe it's hidden within Gwangweiman. But wait, Seongguk reveals he fabricated the story about the sword to test their reactions. He's impressed they actually wrote out the details, but honestly, that's kinda creepy. The others are annoyed, but Seongguk insists even Jung Eoyok used it in his third regression. They realize anyone who sees their reveal will try to steal the sword. Total disaster waiting to happen. A mysterious man in red is watching them, surrounded by shadowy figures, and he looks unhinged. They decide to use the attention on the sword as a distraction to grab all the other relics. This dude, a small man with glasses, is glowing with power and looks absolutely delighted. He's declaring that all good children deserve a prize, and the energy around him is terrifying. No way. The ground starts cracking and Seongguk is suddenly smack dab in the middle of a disaster. A massive, golden structure rises from the street, and it's clearly a throne. This is the stage for the new scenario. The system announces main scenario Way 4, the king's qualification has begun, and Seongguk is glowing intensely. The scenario details pop up difficulty A, and the goal is to occupy the ruler's throne in Gwangweiman within 8 hours. The reward is a huge 10,000 coins, but failing means you can't even participate in this scenario. Talk about pressure. Apparently, whoever takes the throne gets absolute command over all the other kings. Straight up power trip material. There are also special additional clear conditions, which, okay, that's ominous. This is never simple, is it? The throne is surrounded by chaos, with cracks spiderwebbing across the street, but it's still shining bright. Suddenly, other players appear, shocked by the new scenario announcement. They're scrambling to figure things out. One guy yells a new scenario, and honestly, I'm yelling with him. This is going to be insane. Okay, so the little guy, the system's messenger, is telling Seongguk not to sweat this scenario too much. Apparently, this fourth scenario is a competition to find the one true king, the one worthy of the throne. The system lays down the law: they don't want a weak king, and you need a black flag to even try for the throne. Seongguk realizes something, and his face falls. There are hidden stations nearby. Oh no. The woman explains this condition was made because there's more than one way to change the flag's color. They're straight up saying they need to steal another group leader's flag, and Seongguk is not thrilled. But wait, the system throws out a new qualification. The king must be braver than everyone else. A blue light washes over everything and Seongguk is visibly upset. This is bad, really bad. He's panicking because he knows what this means, and honestly, I'm starting to sweat with him. The woman and another player look shocked as the flag shifts. This is going to be a chaotic mess. Seongguk screams "Sicharga" and just barrels forward. Bro is not messing around right now. Someone swings a sword, and it's straight up chaos as everyone starts fighting, no hesitation. A woman yells at them to ignore the others and head for the museum. She's got a plan, maybe. This dude gets decked and it's brutal, and honestly, this dude had it coming. Someone's getting tossed around like a rag doll, and a massive roar shakes everything. The woman leads the charge, kicking another player aside. She's a force of nature, seriously. A player wonders if they're even still in Korea. The situation is so messed up it's hard to tell. Another player asks if their boss is scared, but he just replies and still is, somewhat, so cryptic. Someone's arm is getting crushed by a vehicle, and it looks absolutely horrific. The scenario has begun, and the woman declares they're heading west. Time to get moving. Our boy is standing on a rooftop, looking out over the city. He's accepting his fate, it seems. He declares it doesn't matter if he's a salaryman, because death is coming anyway, but he'll live how he wants. The team is gearing up, weapons drawn. They're facing something seriously dangerous, no doubt. She gives the signal to run, and everyone takes off. They're making a break for it, full speed ahead. They sprint through the streets, shadows chasing them. It's a full, unescaped sequence, intense. Everyone is pushing through the crowd, desperate to get away. The pressure is mounting, seriously. They finally reach the Seoul Museum of History. It's their destination, but is it safe? The team bursts inside, completely winded. They're exhausted, but they haven't stopped running. Everyone's panting for breath, but they're still on high alert. This is far from over, trust me.